captured the hearts and minds of the NBA fan with this whole thing, but it may involve Europe, Jason. I think that my minds of the NBA fan with this whole thing, but it may involve Europe. Hi.
Okay.
You can YouTube on in there, Jason.
Oh, that's weird. That at this time of the show.
So that does make it. Are we on YouTube now?
Oh my God! Please tell me that was the problem. Wouldn't that be insane if that was the problem? Did that?
No, but I didn't touch one thing. That's
no. It's not. Jason didn't do anything.
Yeah.
No, but they can hear us now.
Can you guys on YouTube? It sounds like they were.
Yeah, unless they're doing a bit. It sounds like they could hear us. I just want to go. Yeah, I want to go. I want to go with the idea that Jason had it muted the whole time. Jason had it muted in there the whole time.
We hear you. No, Dave, remember how when you bring up the show and sometimes it's replay? That's exactly what happened. Yeah. An hour and 21 minutes in when I didn't do a thing.
Well, that's what you say, Jason, but everybody, here's what happened. Jason had it muted the whole time, and then he just unmuted it. That's not what happened, but I think that's the story we should go with.
We should go with, except for it would be the flip-flop. I had it unmuted, and now it's muted, because if I unmute it, then we get the reverb, which is we just heard.
Yeah. Okay, we're on to you, pal.
Well, I'm going to mute it back, because I think I don't like this slander.
Well, welcome into everybody. Let's just take a moment, regardless of why, and say thank you to our YouTube listeners. This is why I love going back and forth with them. We fight, we argue, we do whatever, but we love all listeners equally. There's no doubt about it. But to be sitting there in a chat room for an hour and 20 minutes without audio, watching a radio show in which there's nothing going on but gestures, shows a level of commitment that is completely out of this world. Losers. And the fact that they stayed that long, God bless you guys. Seriously, that's really cool, Jason. Thank you.
And for those of you just joining in, I can't believe they made that trade.
The fact is, it's going to improve our front line tremendously, and Monty McNair deserves a big round of applause for that.
Well, we disagree. This was, golly, Dave. Man.
Yeah.
I'll never
look at it
the same way again.
And
well,
thank you know, engineer Brian.
Yes.
Who's been working on it for an hour and 20 minutes.
And here's the best part, Chris. And how do I say this? Did we ever figure out what the problem is? And if it's convoluted and complicated, don't worry about explaining it. I'm just curious, did we ever figure out what the problem is, or did just something happen and someone put the mouse on the hamster wheel and it's working again?
Well, I saw him working on our computer, so it was something. Okay. He did something.
Well, hey, we're back. Feels good. And boy, did you miss an amazing show so far.
Yeah. That joke you told, it was a little bit edgy.
I don't even know if we should have played that on the air.
I know.
Yeah, might be that might be a career ender, guys.
I haven't heard that word in at least 20 years.
Yeah, but you went there,
and you know what? It worked.
It hit the punchline.
Question 3, please.
Question 3.
If the A's move to Vegas gets finalized, will that detract from your excitement about them being here?
I'm going to flip this back on you, Jason, because I'm not excited about whatever. But for you, and for a lot of the people listening, the idea being if it were to be announced, it sounds like they might be getting close. And if it's like, hey, it's done, we're going to start building on XYZ date, there is literally no chance of this falling through. And now everybody knows that this is a 3 to at most 4-year stay, and then they're gone. Does that change anything?
Yeah, it does, actually. And I think I've referenced this before in a sense of, to me, once, we've all been down this road already, David. Like, the goal was to keep the A's in Oakland. Okay, that part didn't happen. I didn't want to see them go to Salt Lake, to Portland, to somewhere else. If Sacramento was an option, Sacramento was an option. Here's where they're coming. And then my other dream was, could this be an option to keep this team here somehow, some way? Well, right now, still things seems to be pointing towards this team to Vegas. And if that truly becomes finalized, shovels in the ground, progress made, stadium a year or two away, and it's inevitable, I don't know how it doesn't squash things here a little bit, especially if they're a 60 to 75 win team without playoff hope. I still think there's intrigue in going to the games. I still think there's intrigue in seeing other teams, but that last year or year and a half, I think it's going to mirror, Dave, what we saw in Oakland. Like, I mean, the team, if you know they're leaving, I think it'll be a weird final year and a half or so, and then maybe at the very, very end, it's like, oh, I want to go to the people want to go to the first game and the last game. All the stuff in between could get a little messy there after the first year. So, yeah, I think it'll diminish a lot of people's belief if that all becomes 100% finalized and we know they're gone.
We'll take a break. When we come back, let's look at the Sacramento Kings. They've got a break. No games. What is it? Thursday? Is their next game? Is that right? Or Wednesday?
Thursday in New Orleans, yeah.
Jeez. Yeah, so big revenge game there. But in the meantime, let's do a little state of the team conversation. We're gonna do this a little bit at 8:00 as well. And I'll help start you during the break here. It's just a quick break. Do we leave them alone? Are we off the ledge of they need to make moves immediately? Or are we starting to think maybe they've turned a corner and you want to trust the process a little bit? Let's just kind of go through that and see where everybody's heads are at. We'll do all that right after this.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Western Health Advantage, Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
All right, well, we've entered the holiday season. We are officially here, and it's truly a time for all of us to reflect on the good that we have, what we have in our lives, thankful for what we have, thankful for who we have in our lives at this time. And right now, we all have in our lives the access to the great overhead door company of Sacramento, and they are truly appreciative of you as their current customers. Whether you're a long-time existing customer or a brand new customer, just like me, I know that you are going to be completely thrilled with them. They're stuck with me. I know a good thing when I see it. And to show you their support, they, for me and for all of us that are customers, they at Overhead Door Company of Sacramento want to show you their appreciation and just how thankful they are for you and offer you $25 off your annual garage door service. Again, time to be thankful. They are thankful for you. And that includes garage door service and repair, like a garage door spring replacement, cable repair, new rollers, hinges, or just general service to your doors. They are a terrific family-owned and operated company with third-generation owners that have been serving our area for 70-plus years. So obviously an incredible company. And when you're thinking about the Overhead Company of Sacramento, remember, look for that red ribbon logo. That's how you know it is them, the authentic, the genuine, the real deal. And it's whether it's residential at your home or commercial at your office, new doors or repairs to existing doors, they are here to help you with whatever your needs may be. And with quick and easy installs and friendly professionals, you get the best return on investment for homeowners. Now go to the showroom and see for yourself. You can check out their website too at ohdsac.com or call them at 916-421-3747. The Overhead Door Company of Sacramento, the original overhead door. Always look for the red ribbon logo.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Tuesday, getting out the door to a chilly start. Make sure you've got those layers ready to go. Look for some areas of patchy fog. And as we head through the afternoon, we will see mainly sunny skies with light winds, highs today peaking in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
This report is brought to you by the San Francisco 49ers. Be there December 12th for Thursday night football at Levi's Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers take on the Los Angeles Rams. This battle of NFC West rivals is presented by Rakuten. Tickets are available at 49ers.com/tickets.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. And participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
The only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Hey, Chris, crack your mic real quick. I know you've been busy behind the glass, but, Chris is not just our producer, but also our boss. One of them, he is the assistant program director at the station. So I'll turn this question to you. Ryan wants a job at the station. Do we have any openings?
No.
Okay. Back to you. What if he just wanted a board op? No?
Once a job is available, put in your application.
Okay, I feel like we need 12 board ops, but am I wrong? I know I shouldn't be doing this on the air.
We need more, especially when
we do need more. Right. So there might be a spot, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Might.
It's very competitive. I understand that. People from all over the country dropping resumes off. I understand that. Just saying, it's trying to look out. Because part of me, honestly, would want Ryan to get that job to do that, just to see if he'd screw it all up, and then he wouldn't be Mr. Know-It-All in the chat. Or, I mean, one of two things happen to me. They're both good. Either he's really good at it, and we just added a great board op that knows what he's doing, or he learns that it's not so easy once you're behind the scenes, Mr. I edited a movie once, and now it's a whole thing. Either way, I don't see a downside, unless he's really good but super annoying to work with. Am I missing that one?
Well, it sounds like you want to do the hiring, so why don't we get you your applications? You can interview everybody.
Jason, what if we did a segment once a week where we interviewed people on the air for board op positions? How do you feel about that?
Thrilling. Just thrilling.
You think that'd be good radio?
Yeah, I think it'd be the best radio. I think that then we would give them the segment of what we just had to go through, what Chris just had to go through, and see how they handle it.
Which would be better, that segment or this segment?
I love the reindeer used to laugh and call him names.
All right, here we go.
They never let Rudolph on any reindeer games in one foggy Christmas Eve. Oh, Santa came to say, tell you
Talk about Rudolph.
Are you playing that at like a level 1?
Why is it
Got
quiet?
it too far up, so then StreamYard's muting it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. All right. Well, they did an AI version of Creed singing Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to the tune of Higher. And that's the first time I've actually been very afraid of AI because it sounds like Creed. Like, it sounds like them.
You're sure that was AI?
That's what they say. I also learned today, apparently, that did you see the Terminator movies?
Yeah. Or one of them.
So some lady was saying, I guess, who wrote that and then also wrote part of the Matrix, that the machines were the Terminator movies are a prequel to the Matrix, and that they were going back in time to try to basically kill Neo or something connected to Neo, and that the Terminator movies are the prequel to the machines taking over the Matrix.
And it all has to deal with Back to the Future.
Right. And Marvin Berry.
Yes. And Marvin Bagley.
Which brings us to this, Jason. Are we okay with where the Kings are at right now? They had the win over Houston. They had the 2 blowout wins. Again, I know they lost to Memphis, and no one wants to hear this, and there's no such thing as a good loss, and it's not a moral victory, but that was not one of those games where I was like, oh my God, they're the worst ever, and what are they doing? Like, they lost to a team that's like 11-2 at home, and they lost to them by 5 points. So it seems like we've seen an uptick. So are we off the ledge yet, or are we still kind of on the ledge?
I need to see more. Like, here's what I will say at this point, what I trust, and I'd be curious about your confirmation or, disagreement here. Dave, I trust the starting 5. I have no issues with that. I mean, when I say no issues, all of it can always be better. But of the strength of the team, once they put Malik Monk there, that group is really good. I mean, that I trust, I believe. Now, as much as I say play them every minute, well, you can't, and that's not a realistic thing. I don't trust the bench. It's been better, and I think that's why we've seen the results. But I don't right now. Of the 2 entities, obviously, I trust the starters way more. I am not fully there that the bench is all figured out.
Well, somebody asked as well, what are their next 5 games? Because there has been with San Antonio, no Wemby, with Utah, there's a little bit of a break. They go into New Orleans, and look, this will be really interesting because New Orleans just beat the holy you-know-what out of the Kings last year. But they're also the worst team in the Western Conference right now. They're 5-20. Brandon Ingram is now out indefinitely with an injury. They're 4-8 at home. They're 1-12 on the road. They have the second worst point differential in the league. Only the Washington Wizards are worse than they are. They've lost 9 of 10. I don't care, Jason, what the Pelicans did to the Kings last year. If the Kings don't go in there and beat New Orleans, that to me is a terrible loss.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. And, they're asking about the next 5 games. Really, 1 month from today, Dave, they're going to be in Boston, right? 1 month from today, January 10th. Between now and then, they've got 12 games, which isn't that many in the grand scheme of things. That's spread out pretty nicely. That's as open as it's been. And 9 of them are going to be at home. The one farthest road game is this one, Thursday, in New Orleans. They play at the Lakers and at the Warriors. Besides that, everything else is home. Doesn't mean that's, hey, good, they're at home, because we know that hasn't been the secret recipe. But I just feel like this has to be a stretch. They played the first 25 games, and I would say they've underachieved at 12 and 13. The next 25, starting with this first, whatever that is, 9 to 10, has to be better. Like, if this team thinks they're a top 6 team, and I think that was a fair, like we're saying top 6, I don't think that was an overreach to think that they could be a top 6 team in the West. Well, they got to get going, and they got to be more consistent. and it's on them to start playing better for longer stretches of time. I think the last 5 have been their best 5, but they got to put this together for 10, 15, 20 games.
I think you're 100% right that this next stretch is a get right stretch. They, as we just talked about, they have the Pelicans. Then they come home and they play Denver, and that's a tough game. But look, Denver's also been quite beatable this year. They're 12-10.
Yeah.
There's a weird schedule stretch where you're getting the Lakers on the 20th and 21st of December, home and home, and then you play them again in LA on the 29th. So you play the Lakers 3 times in 9 days, and the Lakers are barely above 500. In there, you have Indiana, Detroit, Philadelphia, all under 500, all at home with Dallas in there. That'll be an obviously tough game. And then Memphis, who you should beat at home based on how you played them on the road. That's the next 7, 8, 9. That's the next 10 games before they go to Golden State Monday, January 6th, before Miami and Boston. They should, Jason, their next 10, considering everything, 8 out of 10.
Oof, which would be, fantastic.
That might be setting the bar too high. Yeah, 7 out of 10. Let's give them one. They should beat the Lakers 2 out of 3 times, I would hope. And then give them that's 1 loss. You've got Denver and Dallas in there, Memphis in there. Okay, but let's just put it this way: if they win 6 out of the next 10, I'm disappointed.
But I hear you. But even then, that's a better clip than they've been playing. And that's sad. That's the bar's been set lower. If they do 6 out of 10, 6-4, that puts them at 18 and 17. Again, you're starting the climb. We want more than that, but you got to start getting above 500, start chopping down some of these other teams. And I think what's happening a little bit in the West is it is starting to get some separation at the top. That OKC, Memphis, Houston, kind of Dallas group, getting a little bit out. They're not completely gone, but a little bit. Whereas the Warriors, Clippers, Nuggets, Lakers, T-Wolves, Suns, Spurs, Kings, that's all bunched. And you know, with 3 of those games against the Lakers, there's a Denver game in there, the Warrior game. Those are the kind of games, if you get that, that's quite the swing in the standings for you.
We will take a break. When we come back, let's go around the NFL, including one of the Philadelphia Eagles players getting a little bit loose on the radio and having to walk that back. We'll get to that and a lot more as we go around the NFL next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Get huge year-end savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado now at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Now available with special financing lease in some of their offers.
Ba, 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 ba. Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
It's your last chance to snag Dell Technologies' lowest prices of the year before the holidays. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. This is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade, but it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
It's football season, and Uber Eats is dropping undefeated deals on all your game day favorites. This week, score a free medium 2-topping Domino's pizza with minimum purchase, only on Uber Eats. Craving even more? We've got you covered with game day deals on burgers, tacos, wings, and more all season long. Order Uber Eats now. Terms, taxes, and fees apply. See app for details.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. The winter months bring joy, but also with more rain and snow, unfortunately, more accidents. Over the last quarter century, thousands of Northern California residents have looked to Ashton & Price to be their root op with a law license to guide them through the storm of an injury claim. As always, we wish you and your family the safest and happiest of holidays. But if you need us, at Ashton & Price, we're here for you. So whether you've been naughty or nice, happiest holidays from Ashton & Price.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave coming to you from my good friends at American Energy. Look, it's already cold outside. It's only going to get colder. American Energy wants to help you stay warm and make sure your system is operating safely. So right now is the time to take advantage of the $49 tune-up inspection. Normally $119, $49 right now, and that includes a full safety and duct inspection. And check it out. If your system's over 10 years old, and I'll bet it is, the tune-up, yeah, it's free. It's free from a company that's been in business since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ Better Business Bureau. Check their Yelp, check their Google reviews. Don't take my word for it. Give them a call right now. $50 off your first recommended repair. If you need a new furnace, half off the price of a new unit. Check them out at theaeway.com and tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Carmichael Dave. He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
Oh, we're back. Hi.
Hi. Scared us for a minute.
Sorry about that. Was running around. Yeah. Okay. By the way, programming note, it's kind of funny since we had issues in the first hour, but Jason will take you from 9 to 10 a.m. as, you know, I got stuff. So, yeah, I know. Hey, but I will be back in town next Monday, and Jason will be gone for like the whole week and a day.
Oh my gosh.
I have to do everything.
Why don't you send him the same text that you send me when I'm on vacation?
What do I send you when you're on vacation?
Just a bunch of, well, if you were here, you would have done something.
I mean, I like when if
you were here, we would have breaking earlier.
We would have breaking earlier?
Yes. That's the text you send me.
I like when Jason takes time off. Jason needs to take more. The problem is when Jason takes time off, it sucks because the only time he can ever really take time off is summer. That actually counts as time off because he's taking time off from the radio show, but you still got to do Kings.
Yeah. They will.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying. And you know who needs more time off is me. That's the problem. I think we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah, I think it's coming.
It is coming. It is. That'll be Tuesday through the following week, but we'll get you all caught up on all that. In the meantime, let's not worry about that right now, everybody. Let's go around the NFL. Brandon Graham, longtime defensive player for the Philadelphia Eagles. This is a veteran, and I think it's important to say that he is a veteran. He was on the radio, I think WIP, which is a huge station out in Philadelphia, 94.1. And he said, and I'll quote here, the person that's complaining, talking about in the team, needs to be accountable. I don't know the whole story, but I know that Jalen Hurts is trying, and A.J. Brown could be a little better with how he responds to things. They were friends before this, but things have changed. And I understand that because life happens, but it's the business side that we have to make sure the personal doesn't get in the way of business. He was referring to A.J. Brown's post-game comments in which he was asked what the offense needs to improve on, and A.J. goes, passing. And then he added, there's not much conversation between he and Jalen Hurts during the game to troubleshoot. Now, just some background, by the way. I always mix up who it was. I think it was A.J. Brown was trying to recruit Jalen Hurts or the other way around to Alabama back in the day. One of them is the godfather to the other's daughter. Like, there's a history between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. They're not just pals. Like, they're really close and have been close since they were in college. So Graham goes out and says this, and we don't know what happened behind the scenes. And by the way, it's always what you want to hear when your team has won 9 straight. They're 11-2. And they completely melted down in one of the craziest meltdowns we've seen in modern history for an NFL team last year, which you and I, Jason, have talked many times. There had to be something going on in that locker room. Somebody did something to somebody, because that was just strange how they ended up the season last year. It looks like they've turned it around. Now you have this drama, and you have one of your players airing it out on the radio. Well, sounds like somebody called somebody or texted somebody or sent a candygram. He told ESPN today, and by he, I mean Brandon Graham, who made the comments, quote, I made a mistake and I assumed it was something it wasn't. I just want to win so bad that I don't just want to use the media when we need to talk about something and we can fix the problem ourselves. I didn't add to it in a good light, so that's my bad. I just assumed, and it made me out to look even worse because I had it all wrong, and now people are going to run with that part. I really just want to win, and I want brothers to be able to just hash it out. Oops.
Yeah. What do you think? Head coach, GM, maybe the players themselves? Who got to him to talk to him?
Yeah, all of it. I think so. And I guarantee you Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown were a part of that conversation too. Like, look, dude, first off, the amount of stupid things he did there, and he's a veteran. He's been around a long time. This isn't some dumb rookie doing some dumb stuff. This is a vet who went on the Flamethrower radio station in Philadelphia and aired all this stuff out. There's no good that's going to come from that, even if he was right, which, by the way, he probably was right, Jason, and everyone's backtracking now to try to smooth it over. But if I'm Nick Sirianni, if I'm Howie What's-His-Face, their GM, I am livid. Like, guys, what are we doing? We have a chance to do something really special here. It's us. It's Detroit. It's Kansas City, and it's Buffalo. Maybe another team or two in there, but we are a true blue Super Bowl contender this year. We have a chance to get a chip, and you guys are getting into drama right now. What did you say in the last segment, Jason? You said if the team is winning, it cures a lot of evils or something like that. Well, the team's winning.
Right.
What are we doing?
Yeah, I know. Just keep this stuff out of there. Keep trying to keep winning. This is one of the best teams in the NFL. They're hot there right now. It seems like on the surface that all is right, but who knows what really is the underlying thing. That kind of stuff is where it can get fragile and get messy. So you want to keep that stuff away as much as you can.
Aiden O'Connell has a bone bruise. It was thought to be something a lot worse. It's a bone bruise. He has not been ruled out this year. For the game coming up for the Raiders. I'm not trying to be a ding dong here, but really, does that make a difference? That team is that team is all in. And I know Raider fan they're really rooting for Shedeur Sanders to be their savior. I do not like that fit, man. I do not wish that on Raider fans, and that's really not a ton of offense to Shedeur Sanders. Here's what I see, dude. If the Raiders get that pick and they draft Sanders, I think Deion's going to try to double up, and they're going to try to both come to the Raiders together. And I just don't know if the Raiders are the proper franchise for Deion and Shedeur Sanders.
So they're going to double down.
They'll double down, like Matt. They'll Matt Georgia.
I mean, that suddenly becomes intriguing, the Deion part to me. I mean, Shedeur, I'm not sure how I'm with you a little bit. I don't know how he'll be as an NFL guy. You got to give him every opportunity to see. But if they got the one, if it's not him, do you do Hunter or do something different or trade down?
I would rather, if I was the Raiders, I would rather, if I had a choice between Sanders and Hunter, I would take Hunter. number one. Number two, yeah, if I'm the Raiders, I'm trading down. They need more than just one guy. And Peyton Manning, well, I mean, you never know, but Peyton Manning ain't in this draft. Tom Brady ain't. On the surface, I don't know that franchise savior is in there, in which you would pick them with the number one, number two, number three pick. And by the way, I could be totally full of garbage. Nobody knows. But if I'm the Raiders, dude, we talked about this before. I'm taking that pick. I'm trading Max Crosby. I'm holding on to that tight end because why not? He's on a good deal anyways, a rookie deal. I'm trading Max Crosby. I'm loading up on picks, and I'm just going for it. That's what you got to do if you're the Raiders, and then fill it in with free agents and other things.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple mock drafts. Sanders is up there, but also Cam Ward, if they're also looking QB. I mean, that's another choice. On some, he's up near the top there.
I'd rather have Cam Ward. I would much rather have Cam Ward. All right, we'll take a break. When we return, top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen, as we get to Sean Salisbury at 8:13. Is this time off good or bad for the Kings? We'll go over a little bit more of the schedule as well, and a little bit more of the NBA Cup. The quarterfinals begin tonight. We'll continue our conversation as well about this break, good or bad, but also where are you at on that ledge, and what are the next few days, few weeks going to tell us about these Sacramento Kings, these Jekyll and Hyde Sacramento Kings. We'll get back right after this.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sacktown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Attention, if you're new to Medicare, recently moved, or lost coverage, you may be eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan. Give Best Medcare a call if you're eligible to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan that will provide your hospital and medical insurance. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll. From hospital stays to outpatient care and doctor visits, a Medicare Advantage plan has you covered. To speak to a licensed insurance agent, call 800-832-7597. That's 800-832-7597. 800-832-7597. 800-832-7597. Best Medcare is sponsored by CTA Media, non-government entity, not affiliated or endorsed by any government agency. Callers will be directed to a licensed insurance agent. No obligation to enroll. Not all plans offer all of these benefits. Availability of benefits and plans varies by carrier and location. Deductibles, copays, co-insurance limitations, and exclusions may apply. Enrollment in the described plan type may be limited to certain times of the year unless you qualify for a special enrollment period.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Tuesday, getting out the door to a chilly start. Make sure you've got those layers ready to go. Look for some areas of patchy fog. And as we head through the afternoon, we will see mainly sunny skies with light winds, highs today peaking in the upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When it's cold and rainy outside, Bonnie is leading the way home. Right now, stay warm and cozy with a full furnace tune-up, just $59. Plumbing, sewer, electrical, heating, and air. Schedule an appointment today at Bonnie.com.
Whitey here reminding you that not all grills are created equal. Give your family a real treat. Bring out all the flavors of the upcoming holidays with the amazing Napoleon Prestige line of outdoor cookers. And get this, Napoleon Grill's Black Friday Cyber Mondays include a limited time $300 off their top-selling Phantom Grill and 15% off all gas, kettle, and travel grills. Napoleon Grills are built different, built better, built to last. Complete with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts absolute quality. Whitey and Napoleon Grills wish you happy holidays. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon Grills and accessories.
Get year-end pricing during Happy Holidays at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop for great pricing on our entire selection of new CRVs, HRVs, Ridgeline Civics, and Accords. Plus, with low finance and lease options, now's the time to buy. Hurry in and save during Happy Honda Days at Folsom Lake Honda, or go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
At Makita, good enough is never enough. It's not just about the power and runtime of the tool. It's about the power and runtime of the pro. We obsess over fit, finish, and feel. Every detail, from coatings to contours, all to create tools that won't hold you back, so you can build more and never settle. If it's not right, don't put your name on it. Makita, available at the Home Depot.
It's not your average holiday season. Hold on to your hard hats because starting Monday, December 13th, Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is unwrapping the biggest power tool sale Sacramento has ever seen. We're turning up the heat with 12 days of unbeatable prices on all your favorite Makita products and much more. Free batteries with tools, free tools with batteries, and bare tools starting at just $99. Come on down and give us a visit at 6701 Power and Road in Sacramento, or shop our Christmas deals online at fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet. Better tools, better prices.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Holiday gift giving is right around the corner, and the good news is that golfers are an easy group to buy for. Every year, someone releases the next best answer to the age-old question, how do I get the ball in the hole in less strokes? The best answers to that question are lessons and a personal club fitting. Now, you don't have to shell out $500 for a new driver. Your golfer will be thrilled to receive less expensive gifts like a golf glove or a woolen cap or a rain hat for winter play, or maybe a stocking stuffer like new golf spikes. You can't have enough golf balls, but golfers like to play a certain brand, so check the golf bag for clues. Speaking of bags, a new golf bag is always a treat. Golf lasers and GPS units are among the hottest gifts right now, and a swing trainer is a great idea if you know a fair weather golfer who won't be seen again until April. Gift certificates always work for play, for lessons, or for anything else your golfer won't purchase for themselves. Check with your local pro shop or PGA professional. They can help you decide the right gift for your golfer. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom!
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Welcome back. Carmichael Dave, Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud. Take you all the way until 10 a.m. And then Alan Stiles will come in and do his thing, and he'll be styling, profiling, doing all that stuff. Jason, I heard you, by the way, when we were having all the crazy tech issues, and I couldn't get on. In the very, very first segment of Vamping, you were talking about putting your Christmas stuff up.
Yeah.
And sorry, because I was doing stuff and testing and trying to figure it out. But did you say you do have your stuff up, or you do not have your stuff up?
Like the rest of today, and I'll definitely have it finished by tomorrow. I was saying, yeah, this is like the time of year. My wife loves it. She loves Christmas. We have way too much stuff. So it's like a process. You got to trust the process, Dave, getting everything out of the garage where we have it all stored. And so, yeah, I got everything, but I don't have everything up yet. And I know I'm not early for sure. But I hope I'm not the last one. I don't think I'm quite there either.
You're not the last one, dude, because it made me think. I get back home Sunday, and that's going to be what? That'll be the 6th, 15th, 14th, whatever. We don't have a single thing up. And it sucks because this is my daughter's last year at home full time before college. So part of me feels terrible about it. But we've got half our house under construction. Mason and Melissa have their basketball practices every night. I think it's going to be completely up to me to do everything. And I wondered, not that I would do this, but it made me think, Jason, are there there's got to be businesses, right, that their whole job is to go around and just like light up a house, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. I want to say there's like a woman on Instagram that makes like 6 figures decorating people's houses.
You're kidding.
Oh, I believe that. I've seen people. I mean, yeah, some of those houses that have that elaborate lighting. Yeah, I know that people come and do that for them.
And do they still do what is it, Dovewood Court in Orangevale? They've still got those stretches, right, where they just go insane and it's like Disneyland there?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't know that specific spot, but I know there are in our area for sure.
Well, lastly, I know the answer is it's too expensive and I wouldn't do it, but I've always dreamed about having I want one of those houses with all the decorations out front, and then like you tune your radio into the thing, and it's like Enter Sandman plays, but it all the lights go in unison with the whole thing.
I'm sure Brian can help you with that.
Yeah, probably. The issue is I brought that up a couple years ago to my wife, and the PO on that is not going to get cleared. Let's just put it that way. That is not. I'm allowed to put up those rinky-dink little lights with the staple gun that I managed to. I think I've bought a staple gun 6 out of the last 7 years around Christmas time. For some reason, the staple gun goes away.
You put the lights up with a staple gun?
How else do you put them up?
You hang them up. I've got those little clips that the lights just kind of, it attaches to the gutter, and you put the light into that, and then it's just the string.
Like a hooky thing?
Yeah, like a hooky.
Huh.
Yeah.
I just always staple them. I thought you were supposed to staple them.
Well, maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. That would be a curious, how do you guys put them on a hook, or do you staple them? Let us know on our YouTube and or our chat.
I did find a local company that does it, and they ask you like what you want, and they'll give you a free quote. And one of their questions is, "What is your project budget?" $1,000, $1,000 to $2,000, $2,000 or more.
As cheap as possible.
Isn't it kind of a thing where if you go on a website and you can't see pricing and they say we'll give you a quote, that's like the Christmas lights version of when you go into a restaurant and all the side dishes are sold separately, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like that's way too much.
So we've got someone already. John says they use a hook. AA Ron clip to the gutters. What else do we have? Fee Hill one. We did permanent lights this year.
What are permanent lights?
I get, there are like if they're just like white lights, I think you can keep those up all year. Now, whether you turn them on all the time.
Usually you can change the colors. So maybe you're doing something for St. Patrick's Day
or festive time, 4th of July, or I always grew up stapling them with my dad. I always thought that was weird.
Yeah, I think as soon as I said it out loud, I think I'm going to be in the minority when it comes to stapling. I like the idea of permanent lights, though, that you can do. So like 4th of July, they could be red, white, and blue, that type of thing.
Yeah, they said they change colors and move.
Oh, my God. Like underneath your awning or whatever, they're like little LED strips or whatever that just kind of, I want to do that. Something that I can control from my phone.
What's your budget?
$50.
Okay, well, we'll get you a light that'll you'll have to change yourself.
Okay, what's next? So we're not off the ledge. We're still flinching. And I don't disagree with that statement when it comes to the Kings, because I think we saw the last 2 nights, Jason, what we talked about in the Memphis game and so many others. If you make your 3-pointers at a league average rate, we're not even talking about like 40+%. We're talking about mid to high 30s. And honestly, I know you can't ever do it this way because situations and this and that, whatever would change. But I would be very curious to go back through all the Kings losses and see how many games they would have won had they shot the league average from beyond the arc. But I'll bet you it's a few.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and back to the, on the ledge, off the ledge, what you trust. That's why, Dave, for me, or coaches will often say, or we've said, if you play like that against this team, you will win. Like the more times you play like that, you'll find ways to win. That's why I want to go back. I think the last 5 games, really, and the benchmark is when Malik went into the starting lineup. They're 3-2. Again, the record's not going to blow anyone away. But I think you have to look at the totality of the 5 games. The first of the 5 was the San Antonio home game, where that box score, everything they did was a winning game, except for they just got clobbered by the 3-point line that night. Spurs set a franchise record. Kings didn't make enough, but they controlled the paint, fast break, turnover, like everything. It should have been a win. It wasn't. They lost by 2. Then they beat Houston, which we all, and I know you said it was your favorite win of the year. After that, they lost to Memphis, and that game, I mean, they were right there. That's one a tweak here or there, but that happens. But I didn't feel like I left that game going, I was down because they lost, not because of the way they performed per se. And then the last 2, we can lump it in as Spurs without Wemby, and Utah's not a great team. All facts, but those were blowouts, and they had 2 of their best offensive games. So I think for 5, when you stretch it out for 5 games, this has been their best stretch. This is when they've looked the best. and not the largest of sample sizes, but when you look back at it as a 5 games since they made the significant change of putting Monk in there as the starter, I think they've looked their best. So that's why I believe this has a little bit more staying power, but I'd go back to I'm not fully trusting that they figured out the bench yet, though.
That's part of I think that's part of what's made this so frustrating, Jason, is as radio people, as fans, as whoever, we all want to analyze the game in our own way. I don't know how I can sit here and say, well, they're just really getting out muscled in the paint, or boy, the offense is really stagnant and it's sticking with this guy, or oh, their turnovers are just crazy. Like, those are all very analyzable things. You know what I can't analyze? They're not making threes. But there's nowhere to go. There's nowhere to go with that. And then when you well, okay. You could say, however, they're not getting any separation and they're taking really bad shots. But the problem is, I think they lead the league in open 3-point attempts, meaning nobody's within 5 feet of you, and they still have sucked at it. So let's see, when they lose, they don't make their threes. When they do make their threes, Dougie McBuckets has 100 points in 5 minutes.
Right.
And lo and behold, you win by 40,000. Well, how do you analyze that? Oh, well, what did they do differently, guys? Well, they made their threes. There you go. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow with more analysis. That's the analysis. They made their threes. So how the hell do you coach that? How do you analyze that? I don't know, other than just, hey, guys, I have an idea, players. Hey, make your threes. Okay.
Yeah. Especially when the weird part of the oddity of the Kings this year is they are a top 10 offense. I think they were number 1 in percentage, like at the rim, and they're number 1 or number 2 in mid-range. And, you know, their offense and their scoring points, so they're a top, and that's with being, I think, 28th in three-point shooting. The game's biggest weapon, they are nearly the worst. And so it's an abnormality to see that this far into the season, that they're really good offensively, but they're missing the game's most important shot right now, consistently at least.
Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. And there's you dive into a lot of the analytics when it comes to lineups and net ratings, and the lineup with Monk in there is one of the, if not the best in the league. The Kings have the 10th best net rating of any team in the NBA. They're 6th in offense. They're 13th in defense. And what do we say, Jason? Well, they could just be a top 15 defensive team in the league. They're going to be fantastic. Like, that's why I think with a guy like Monty, who's had a rough month, he's probably sitting there and he's going, guys, I'm not going to panic right now because none of this makes sense. Being light down low, being not having the depth with your bigs, yes, it's fixable and it's something we knew about. But not making your threes, having this win-loss record when your ratings are so high, losing all these close games, that's it. The numbers are not plugging in correctly, which is why I still have kind of an optimistic look, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think other times things make sense. I mean, they've had a few injuries, but I don't look at this as comparing them to a New Orleans team or other teams that have really been decimated. By and large, this team's been relatively healthy. And so it's just been an odd puzzle. Maybe it's taken a little more time to adjust to everything, even though the real big adjustment is DeRozan. I mean, a lot of the roster's the same, coaching staffs, a lot of it's the same. So it's been a weird one to figure out. I hope they establish some more consistency here, because that's what they need. And then I think we'll all get a little bit more of that belief that, okay, maybe this team actually is a good team.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Sean Salisbury will wrap up the NFL week for us and so much more as we talk right after this.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Cisco! It's all on his shoulders. Cox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple.
Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right, welcome back. Are we good to go, everybody?
We are.
Oh, fantastic. Joining us right now, like clockwork, the one, the only, the legendary Sean Salisbury, helping us make sense of this NFL world. Sean, good morning. How are you, friend?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you?
Doing better than the Eagles coaches and front office right now. You've won, God knows what, 8, 9 in a row. You had this massive collapse last year that somebody, we were saying before, somebody had to do something to somebody's family member or something. It was just such a weird collapse last year. They look like they've straightened it out. And then you have one of your veteran defensive ends going out on the radio and talking about the quarterback and the number one wide receiver and then trying to walk it back today. If you're the coach of that team, Sean, and you hear your guy making those comments, what are you saying to him when you call him up on the phone?
Well, and you know, and Brandon Graham's a veteran, right? And a leader and a really good player. You know, I'm not sure as the coach, I'm not sure I call him. I think that the damning, whether you call it damage or you got to fix it, you may, you know, take him aside when you're on the field in the practice field, put your arm around him, or if you do call him in, I mean, what good's it going to do now? Now he goes back, and backtrack just makes it worse, right? Because we know when a veteran in a locker room says this on a show that it's not, well, it could be like this. When you're that matter of fact about it, that's being bannered about in that locker room. And because I'm going to tell you, if you ever want to know what player should be starting at a position, if you ever want to know the real stuff that's going on, if you ever want to know the depth of a team, good and bad, and I'm not talking about the depth of the play roster, the depth of how deep certain stuff go, the players will sure as hell let you know. And if they don't let you know, you'll see by their reaction. They know. Just like I said, if there's a quarterback who should be playing and isn't, the players will let you know. And in this case, Brandon Graham's a veteran. Sometimes we spend a lot of time overloading our mouth with our backside as players. And isn't it weird? Was it a podcast or a radio show? And there's a reason I'm asking this. I saw
it was WIP, dude. It was WIP in Philly.
Right. Because is he a regular guest on there? Maybe. You know what's crazy
so.
Is that normally on podcasts, it's almost like guys feel like nobody's listening, right?
Yeah.
Dude, or even on a radio show, and and WIP is obviously a big hitter. And you said another thing. Do you know that you're actually talking that people are going to talk about this when you say this? I've never in my life believed, and they're going good. They are really good. And you have these cliques and these disagreements on teams all the time. I just don't know why Brandon Graham, why we get to the point where we think it's, and like I said, they say it and it's almost like you're like, well, nobody's going to hear anyway, so I can just say it because it'll get clicks or ratings. Well, the click is now you got to go in and address it, backtrack, and go deal with Brown and with Hurts. And now they may be, disenfranchised or disenchanted with you, and you're a veteran, and everybody in the locker room already knew what was going on. You didn't have to tell the public about it, and we're winning. So just you know what? Keep that in-house. I don't know why we feel it's important to air dirty laundry, and we as fans want to know about it, and media, and then the second it comes out, we blister it, and we're all over it. And now the next question and the next question and the next question is not going to be about Philadelphia Eagles football. It's going to be about, is this going to disrupt Philadelphia Eagles football? And the right guard's going to have to talk about it. The strong safety's going to have to talk about it. They're going to ask Hurts and A.J. Brown, and they're going to make them uncomfortable. Sirianni's going to have to talk about it. And then he walks it back. Well, you can't walk that back. So I just don't get it. Now, I don't, some people, when there's some teams like the old Raiders back in the day, for people who don't know, the Raiders, certain teams thrive on this. Little chaos, but they always had each other's back on game day, and they'd go out there, and in chaos, they thrive. Some teams can. This team, I don't know if they can, whether they can or can't, but the guys in-house already knew this was going on. Apparent. I mean, they would have. It's not just out of nowhere. And so whatever that is, it needs fixed. But now you got to rally around it. Just as these things are distraction. I don't know why players think it's a wise thing to let us all know that the quarterback and the wide receiver may not like each other or not getting along. Well, the truth is, even if you don't get along, you still got a job to do. You got to compartmentalize. Can you? Are they wise enough to be able to stick that on the outside, hang it outside the locker room, and then go play? I don't know, but I just don't understand. I don't get the philosophy of why a player in-house wants to do that to two teammates that none of us were talking about. We were talking about Sirianni and Jalen Hurts' relationship in the offseason, and now it's Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. Well, then you start to wonder, wouldn't the question next be asked, well, the center is Jalen Hurts the problem since it's been with two guys? So I don't know, man. I just have never believed in it, in airing your family's dirty laundry or any laundry or your teammates, which is your family. I do not know what purpose it serves. And save me if anybody wants to bring up, we'll have a team meeting. Team meetings don't accomplish squat. They're the biggest waste of time, and it becomes a bitch fest. So if that's the next meeting where you stand up and say, hey, man, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. Well, you meant it or you would have said it. And now you got to go to fix it. It makes no sense. Brandon Graham, a lot of respect for him. I don't know what this does other than get people saying, yeah, talking about the team. It does nothing for the team in the building at all. Nothing.
Sean, you've been around, played on enough teams to, when there's so many players in football, there's times where this probably happens all of the time. Why, in your mind, is there some sort of central thing that sometimes teams, like you mentioned, the Raiders in the past thrived on it and excelled and said, we needed that. That's what propelled us. And then other teams completely unravel. I'm sure if coaches could figure this out, they would always solve this. But is there any kind of common thread that teams kind of power through and others fall apart when some turmoil happens?
Well, the teams that are the I confess that don't have transparency. Okay, so let's assume, first of all, if you'd like it not to happen, but okay, so it happens. So now instead of constantly, making it even worse, or that snowball's getting bigger, how do we stop it? I'm a guy, I'm always looking for solutions. Okay, there's a difference of opinions. Guys may not like each other, but is there respect? How do we fix it? Okay, well, grown-ass men address each other, just like on hockey. I always like to compare stuff to hockey. When those two dudes got a problem, what do? They square up, tap each other on the shoulder, face up, drop gloves, and square up and go. I'm not suggesting they get in a fight in the locker room. And then when they're done, guess what? They drink a beer afterwards at some charity event. The two they're big goons and the fighters in hockey, old school, and they go have a beer together, and all is good because grown-ass men, transparent, deal with it, and instead of chatter and be the Gladys Kravitz from Bewitched down the street who wants to know everybody's friggin' business. So that's one way. The teams I've been on where there's been a difference of opinion, one, like I said, people get it skewed. It's not liking, it's respect. And if they cross into each other, now there's a problem. But I know on the good teams I was on, Chuck Knox in Seattle, if we had an issue, they address it. But or Denny Green, you know what we did? The players policed it. You didn't need a coach to come down and have a meeting. Now the problem with Philly is the off season. They're now on their third group of coordinators the last 2 years, and they're handling it well, playing good football. And then the Sirianni with the crowd, they had to deal with that. It's always something with this team, but they powered through that. So now here's the next phase of having to power through. The teams that I know were able to power through, the different. I'll just give you. I'll leave the names out for now. It'll be in the book in a good way for a fun story. But is we had a major brawl between a phenomenal defensive player and a tight end on our team. And it was a knockdown, drag-out beat. And one you thought was, of course, he's going to win. And then the other guy got the best of him. You're like, what? And then that happened earlier in the day. And then just before we went out to afternoon practice, one of our players was lacing up his tennis shoes, not his cleats, to practice outdoors. And I looked at a teammate, and we looked at each other and said, this isn't done. Well, laced him up and took a beeline for the player, tackled him in the locker room, and they went at it again. And it got handled, and we went on win. But then the one guy who won it, everybody's like, damn, well, we're not going to – there's a major amount of respect for that guy. We didn't know it because he was quiet, right? So we handled it, and you know what? The coach didn't have to come down. Silence. Players took care of it and handled it. So good teams with leadership don't rely on some media member or some fan or some coach. Sometimes the coach has to intervene, but the great ones say, you know what, it's the issue, deal with it. Let's handle us three like grown men. If we got to address the team, not in the team meeting, address them, and let's move on. It's the team that holds grudges. He made a mistake, did Graham, and you go handle it like pros and let the veterans police the locker room. You usually have no problem. When coaches and management and all this get in, then there becomes a problem. And meetings are nothing but a bitch fest anyway. So I'm talking about team meetings. Get in there and handle it like pros. But if you're relying on somebody who wasn't there for it, usually doesn't work. So veteran teams that I've been on handle it in-house, and players police it like old school. And you can apply new school rules of respect. But I got news for you. Sometimes it just takes a little, by the nape of the neck and looking each other in the face saying, my bad, dudes. You can be as mad at me as you want. It was on me, and let's go. Accountability is huge. If there's no accountability, it won't get fixed. This team's going too well for something like this to intervene. It was stupid all the way around.
We're out of time, and I know you do want to save it for the book, and I'll be the first guy to buy it. Hey, the really good defensive player. I don't want to give anything away, but he didn't happen to have a very unique type of eye black he wore, did he?
I can neither confirm nor deny. Maybe a Hall of Famer, may not. It might have been me and somebody else. Now you know I'm lying. So it'll be, and it was. And I'll tell you what, it was. You know how that GIF is buy your popcorn, where that guy's stopping his popcorn flying everywhere. Yeah, we got our popcorn for that one, brother. It was nice. It was really cool. So fun. And when I tell you, the other guy said, "Oh, yeah." And after that, and the story that led up to that, it was a classic. But I can tell you this. Never again did the guy that wasn't expected to handle that fight, who handled it, never again did anybody say any foul word to him.
I'm sure.
He was going to whip you, too. So, great. But you know what? It got handled, and it never got out, and nobody had a problem with it, and all's good. So everybody went on with it. But I can neither confirm nor deny that it happened. It might just be a fantasy, Dave. You never know.
You never know. I'm always into your fantasy, Sean. Sean Salisbury choices.
Well, yeah. Well, get in line, pal. There you go.
Each and every Tuesday, and you never know what the hell is going to happen. Brother, we appreciate you. We'll talk to you in a week, my man. Thank you.
I love you guys, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
I want the book.
I want the book. I want to know that story so bad. I think I know who the defensive player. I think I know. I want to know that. Now I'm going to go back through all of Sean's Viking rosters.
I know.
Try to find out like the lamest looking tight end. see what it was. Try to come up with who it would be. Oh, I love when Sean gets on story time. We'll take a break. When we return, hey, how about some 4-down territory, including rumors that Mike McCarthy will return to the Cowboys. Is Jerry Jones okay? We have other things to ask as well. 4-down territory coming up next.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Western Health Advantage, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins Fridays at 10 a.m. Get more info at SacktownSports.com.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right. Sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Sacramento's premier country music festival, Country in the Park, is coming back May 16th and 17th at Cal Expo with Bailey Zimmerman, Billy Currington, Cole Wetzel, Nate Smith, and more. You'll enjoy food trucks, rock walls, and a mechanical bull, line dancing, and more. Single-day GA tickets start at $52 at CITPFest.com. It's Country in the Park, May 16th and 17th with Good Guys Heating and Cooling. Find out more at CITPFest.com.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. With over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Keep the cargo in your truck's bed dry and protected with a bed cover from TruckSmart. Bed covers that fold up, roll up, and lift up are ready to install on your truck. Turn your vehicle into a hauling machine. TruckSmart truck and SUV accessories in Rockland and Auburn.
Maida Chevy saves you $8,000 off MSRP on new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST after rebates.
Year-end savings on now with $8,000 off new Silverados at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See dealer for details.
The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is expanding. I guess you could say the Super Shop is getting more silverer. That means more for you, more apparel, more equipment, more shoes, more gift ideas, more of everything you want. If you're looking for the right gift for the golfer in your life, let the friendly team of Hagen Oaks experts help you find the perfect gift. From golf bags to golf balls, from golf pants to golf shirts, from rain gear to golf gloves, Hagen Oaks has it all. And much is on sale. Visit the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Rare Shop, Fulton Avenue at Business 80, or find us at HagenOaks.com.
What would it take for a plumbing company to earn your trust? Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And let's face it, plumbing and service companies don't always have the best reputation.
So to earn your trust, the first thing they'd have to do is actually answer the phone when you call with a real live person. Then they'd have to send a plumber when you needed them, day or night, without charging extra for emergency services.
A trustworthy plumber would show up on time, wearing a clean uniform and name badge, and be able to show that they had passed a background check and drug test.
A plumber you could trust would give you a firm quote on the job before starting and clean up after they finish the job.
That's exactly the plumber you'll get when you call Bell Brothers, a plumber you can trust. Call Bell Brothers right now for all your plumbing needs. Our number is 916-444-1234, or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sacktown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SacktownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
With the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Got to get to four down territory here in a second, though. I want to clean up something Chris texted me. No, not that text. This one. When we were talking about the Christmas lights, Jason, and somebody had said they were getting permanent lights. So Chris texted me an Amazon link, which is always dangerous. And you can get 100 feet of app controlled. I mean, these things look awesome, dude. They go underneath your awning, wherever. They're beautiful. They're bright. You can change colors off your phone. All the stuff we were talking about. $94 for 100 feet, which, look, that's pretty good. That's actually doable. Arrives between January 2nd and 23rd.
Too late for you?
Yeah, what am I going to do with them January 2nd other than prep?
They're year-round lights.
Yeah, I need them for Christmas now.
Well, put up this year's Christmas lights, then get those, and then you're up, and then you're done.
I just have those dumb, hangy, light bright looking ones, and then I got to blow up. I don't want to give too much away here, but I got to blow up Santa. And a blow up, it's a blow up elf throwing a football to a blow up reindeer in a 49er jersey. That's true.
Okay.
So I had these blow up items on my front lawn, and then
wait, the lights on the roof though, are those are they icicles? You know, the ones that hang down, or
yes. Okay. They're not I don't know which. So those are icicles. Okay. Then there's the ones that are like the big teardrop. Like, I don't know what you call them, but you know what I'm talking about. And the thing is like all the other houses around it, not all of them, but a lot of them do a really good job. So I do get the inner Griswoldian in me that, and it's not just outside too. Our whole inside, my wife has a whole one of the big blue Walmart, like giant plastic boxes. She has like 2 boxes filled. It's a whole thing inside with lights, and like there's there's a train, and there's a thing of blocks that says like hope and Christmas or whatever the hell, and elves on the shelves, Spock in a sock. I don't know what the hell we have, and then there's the tree, and we got the beam for the star. Now we got that last year. But it's like a whole inside outside thing. It's not just inside, you know what I'm saying? And then lastly, the other problem is we had an issue last year with Gus where when we put the tree up, he thinks that's where he should pee. And
pee on the tree.
Right. He pee on the tree. And so this is Gracie's first Christmas. And I remember she just took out 2 Roku remotes in 7 days. I don't even know what she's going to do with the ornaments, but that's going to be a problem. Or as they say over in England, I just found out, by the way, they look at me like I'm an idiot. Well, they normally do anyways. But when I say we talked about Christmas ornaments because I was wondering why we don't have any Huddersfield Town soccer team ornaments,
sure. That's a good idea.
We should. And they looked at me like, what are you talking about? And I actually I Googled it and showed them like one of the Kings when they go, oh, you mean baubles? And I go, what?
What are they called?
They go, baubles.
Baubles?
Christmas baubles. The Christmas bauble.
Bauble.
Like I baubled the ball, but apparently that's not saying it right. You have to put an R in there. So like a bauble. I don't know. I tried to say it 5 times and they laughed at me. Yeah, a bauble, dude.
Okay.
I think they're messing with you.
No, I've gotten that from multiple people. This is why, and I always say to them, this is why you lost the war. This is why we won.
Oh, we lost one of them.
Well, I'm saying against them.
Yeah.
Head to head.
And they burned down the White House.
Yeah, it didn't count. We got it back. That was a random game.
Technically, as a country, we're an 0-1 against them.
Oh.
What are you talking about? We won the Revolutionary War. That's the big
but we
one.
won a country then.
We weren't. Oh,
it was a neutral site.
Yeah, it's a neutral site.
Yeah.
Or 0-1 on the road and 1-1 or 1-0 on neutral sites.
What was that? The War 1812. That was. Yeah, the line on that one, by the way, was U.S. by 7. It was just we weren't making our shots.
Oh, look, hey, Dave, I can tell you because I was there in the post game in the locker room when the report, and I can't remember which commander was saying it was like shot after shot after shot after shot after shot after shot. I'm like, when's this guy going to stop?
Right. Come on, John Paul, whoever the hell you are.
Yeah.
Was you have too much laudanum? Yeah, that's yeah. That Raul on the chat is actually bringing up too. These are the same people that thought I wanted to bring over baby racists as a halftime. Baby races.
To be fair, we are America.
Yeah, true. Let's represent.
They'd probably both be incredibly entertaining at halftime, just problematic on both sides, by the way.
Yeah.
All right. Well, welcome back. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
4 down territory time. Right. Meow.
There are rumors that Mike McCarthy will return to the Cowboys next season. Are you surprised?
Okay, so we were just talking about the Revolutionary War, right? If the Dallas Cowboys were a country, like how many years ago would the fans have literally revolted against Jerry Jones? Like 5, 6?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of what the country comparison is to Jerry Jones's tenure. Like started out, won a bunch of championships, then it turned out it was probably his lieutenant that really was the one that was the mastermind behind the military. Like if look, no offense to Mike McCarthy, dude, but geez, at some point, man, you gotta wake up. You just need a new voice. There's talent on the Cowboys. The problem is it's run by, and this is why anytime anyone bitches about Vivek, it's always like, dude, really? Like, look, he ain't perfect. Nobody is, but there's one person ever that was perfect, and we all know that was Jerry Rice. But other than that, it ain't happening. And Jerry Jones is the guy picking the team, and his son picking the team. Until Jerry Jones and Mark Davis and a couple of others figure out that they don't know what the hell they're doing, they're screwed. So am I surprised? No, of course I'm not surprised. It's just another chapter in Jerry Jones being stupid and old and completely senile.
Yeah, and now what is it? 1-6 at home in their home play. I mean, that's the place that Jerry built. The fact that he's got that record there with expectations this year, I am surprised that there's talk that he would. I mean, I thought he might have been gone already by now, and a lot of people are saying that he could return. That's just surprising to me. Completely surprising.
Second down.
6 AFC teams have already been eliminated from making the postseason, while just one in the NFC. With that said, which conference do you think is better, NFC or AFC?
This is a tough one because I didn't crunch the numbers, but I would imagine the NFC is probably better by record. When you look at the top teams by record, Seahawks, well, they're tied with the Texans and Ravens and Chargers and Broncos and Commanders, so let me leave them out. Packers, Steelers, Bills, Vikings, Eagles, Lions, Chiefs. My guess is the NFC probably has a better record, but I think top-heavy wise, I'm more afraid of the Chiefs and the Bills than I am the Lions and the Eagles, though I think they're both fantastic. But when you add in the Vikings and the Steelers and those kind of B-level contenders, I think it evens out a little bit. I would say at the top it's the AFC slightly, but I'd say overall it's probably the NFC.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was actually lopsided before the year. I thought the AFC was far more difficult, far more competitive, and maybe that's part of what's happened. The top is separated and the bottom is, well, that's why so many teams are out. But I also looked at quarterback play, Dave. I just think there's so many good quarterbacks in the AFC that makes that like Joe Burrow's having a great year, and the Bengals are likely going to be left out here, and they're 5-8. I mean, he's a tremendous quarterback. So I think the AFC just overall has better quarterback play, but the NFC's got some really good teams, and so it's closer than I thought it would be. But I'd lean towards the AFC as well.
Third down.
Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter, Ashton Jonty, and Cam Ward were named the Heisman finalists. Who you got?
It's going to be Travis Hunter, but I think it should be
Ashton. They didn't want to
Ashton
pay the airfare for Cameron Scadaboo?
Yeah, come on.
Dude, that was so lame. I mean, look, we're being honest, it's the top 4 vote getters. So, I mean, it is what it is. But
did they see his last game?
I'm telling you, preaching to the choir. I'm with you. He got screwed a little bit, but that's fine. That's more motivation for him. I feel sorry for the next defensive lineman to try to tackle him, although I normally would anyways. I think it's Hunter. I think Hunter will get it. If I'm betting, it would be Hunter. I would take Ashton Jonty. I think Travis Hunter is doing amazing things. It's the Shohei Ohtani argument for sure, but Ashton Jonty is the best offensive player in the game. He won't get it. It'll be Hunter, but I think it should be Jonty.
Yeah, I would go with Ashton too, because I think, in my mind, I think it should be him. They've got a great record. He checks all the boxes, has all the stats. Hunter's been incredible. There's no doubt. It reminds me, Dave, of the year of, what was it, Woodson versus Peyton Manning. And Woodson got it because of kind of that dual threat. He returned some punts, got a few catches, but really was a tremendous defensive player. Peyton Manning had an incredible season and didn't win it. It's unique. It's different. I think there's more of a, not gimmick isn't the right word, but it's more unique what we're seeing with Hunter. So I think you're right. He probably will be the one, but I would go with Ashton for Boise.
I know we got a break here after fourth down, but just to give you an idea, the latest odds, you would need to bet $2,500 on Travis Hunter to win $100.
Yeah.
And that's how big of a favorite he is. And Ashton Jonty, if you bet $100 on him and he won, you would win $1,000. That's how insanely much of a favorite Travis Hunter is. So yeah, it's going to be him. Fourth down.
Pick at 7 seed or worse that could win the CFP.
Pick a 7 seed. Sorry, my bad.
Oh.
No. Well, that's a whole different question then.
Yeah.
Now I don't know who could win the whole thing.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, or 12.
Who do you have, Jason?
I'd have Notre Dame. They're right there at 7. I think they're a really good football team. Again, it's going to be tough getting all the way through this for anybody, but I think Notre Dame's pretty good. That's probably the one I'd lean on.
I think you're right. I do. I think you're right. Notre Dame has, but because you picked Notre Dame, I'm going to pick Ohio State. I think you're right with Notre Dame. Ohio State's the only other one I could see getting it. And if Ohio State is on their game, they're a damn good, arguably top 3 team. You get a couple upsets ahead of you. I think they'll beat Tennessee. Then they got to go into Oregon. But if they beat Oregon, look out. Then they're playing the winner of Arizona State, most likely Texas. That gets them into the title game almost. Well, I mean, obviously, it would get them into the title game. But I think you're right.
Oregon, by the way, played that classic game earlier in the year that could have gone the other way. And obviously, Oregon did win. But yeah.
But we're rooting for Arizona State. This is an Arizona State house.
Yeah, scatterboot.
Scatterboot. We'll take a break. When we come back, hey, it's my final segment. Who's hot, who's not, and more. We'll do all that coming up right after this.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Western Health Advantage, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Here comes Floyd, throw over the middle, intercepted by Fred Warner.
Faithful to the Bay.
Fred gets up and runs back the other way, 30.
Be there December 12th for Thursday Night Football at Levi Stadium as the San Francisco 49ers take on the Los Angeles Rams.
20, one block and he's in.
This battle of NFC West rivals is presented by Rakuten.
Touchdown!
Tickets are available now. Secure your seats today at 49ers.com/tickets.
San Francisco!
Yep, 'tis the season. Hey, if you take pride in your gift giving, here's a great idea for you. Gift cards from the Good Feet store. Okay, so Arch supports aren't exactly what they've been hinting for, but you know they'd love them. And with the Good Feet lifetime warranty, it's a gift they'll enjoy forever. Buy a Good Feet gift card now, and Good Feet will boost its value 20%. That's a 20% gift from the Good Feet store. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, Vacaville, and in Reno on South Virginia Street.
Hi, I'm Justin Gingery from the law firm of Gingery, Hammer and Associates. When you have been injured by the fault of another, you will want advice you can trust. If you know an attorney you can trust, I hope you call that person. But if you don't, please call me. I promise I will be the attorney you can trust, along with my entire team. I have been helping accident survivors recover compensation for their injuries for 25 years, and we can help you. There is no charge for calling. If you have an injury, just call Gingery.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system? and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost, or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Who is hot?
Joe Burrow.
Not that outfit.
Last night in the Bengals 27-20 win over the Cowboys, he was 33 of 44 with 369 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. That's not new to him. In his last 5 games, he has completed 25 or more passes, thrown for 250 more yards, thrown 3 touchdowns or more, and had no more than 1 interception. No other quarterback has done that in more than 3 consecutive games.
I mean, we talked about it before. The Bengals are probably the team in the NFL that their record does not tell the entire story about them, Jason. Although I did see, I forgot to get you this stat. This was floating around yesterday. I thought you might find it interesting. The largest yard differentials in the NFL this season. The Ravens are 4th at plus 973, meaning they have outgained their opponents by 973 yards, air, ground, all that. The Lions, number 3 at plus 991. The number 1 yard differential team in the NFL, the Eagles, plus 1,129. The Ravens are 8-5. The Lions are 12-1. The Eagles are 11-2. You might be thinking, if you're paying attention, wait, you went 4-3-1. I did that for dramatic effect. The number 2 yard differential team in the NFL, the San Francisco 49ers, the only other team that has outgained their opponents by more than 1,000 yards, 1,040. You heard me, 11-2, 12-1, 8-5. That's a combined record of 31-8 between those 3 teams. The Niners are 6-7.
Make it make sense.
Can't. Wouldn't that be funny though if that was Chris's what's not? That would be actually good. Who's not, Chris?
I'll just do one on the fly then. Dallas Cowboys. Let's go with them.
Yeah, okay.
In the last 10 seasons, only twice has a team partially blocked a punt that traveled less than 20 yards, been touched by the receiving team, and recovered by the punting team for a new set of downs. The only other team to allow that to happen in the last 10 years was
the
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys against the Denver Broncos in 2021.
Wow. I'm glad that was your who's not, because we've got what? We've got 2 minutes here. Is that correct? Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to the Cowboys and what we were talking about. Now, as a fan, I don't like going here, but I'm going to talk about Cowboy fans, so I'm okay with it. When we talk about Jerry Jones and his absolute and complete imbecilic decisions that he makes year after year after year, at some point, don't we blame the fans for what's going on? At some point, don't we go, guys, you continue to sell out that stadium every single season We always see the stupid video every year when they open up standing room only, and I'm honestly surprised nobody's gotten killed or seriously injured when they open the doors and everybody runs full speed to the standing room only seats. We see that video every year. There's obviously this thirst to go to the games. At what point do we look at the fans of the Cowboys and say you're in a mentally abusive relationship and you keep going back time and time and time again? What possible motivation does Jerry there's no, you have no leverage. You're using none of your leverage. You're just opening your mouth and you're taking it every single season. At what point do we look less at the 95-year-old senile guy and more at the fans that are spending money on this?
You know, and I think I know the answer to the question I'm about to ask you, but what would have a bigger impact? I know what you're saying is fans, okay, your choice is to maybe not pay, not help, not support, not go to the game. I just think that's such a tough one to achieve, but I get it. I get the thought. Would you be better off if you, I know the thought is you're already giving Jerry money if you are going, but what if you know, we've seen it. And I think the Giants just did this the other day where there were a couple fans with bags over their heads. Like, if you get that image at your stadium, that's really pretty rough. If there were a bunch of Cowboy fans that did that, would that be as damaging?
I think you do. I think the A's fans really kind of set a little bit of a precedent. I think that's what you do. I think you don't give them your money. You're not just giving him the ticket money. You're not just giving him the parking and the concessions, everything. All right, that is a money printing factory. If you had that place half empty and everybody just went into the parking lot, rolled up with their bags over their heads, and their signs saying "Jerry out, Jerry out, Jerry out," that's going to make a difference. And you just say, dude, we're not giving you another penny. You don't know what you're doing. We can't make you sell the team, but you need to stay away from football decisions. I've said this from the start of my career, and I'll say it to the end of my career. And I hope someday while I'm still on this earth, it happens in America, because it certainly happens in other parts of the world. One day fans are going to realize, and they're going to wake up, and it's going to be some fan base that does it. And they're going to really, truly understand the amount of leverage that they have and the amount of control that they have if they just utilize it and organize. So when I look at a team year after year like the Cowboys, I go, yeah, Jerry sucks. We say that every year. It's not going to end. The only chance is if he backs his way into a good roster because he got distracted by a bumblebee one day and let somebody else do the job. So till then, it's on the fans, man. That's what I say.
I blame the fans.
Blame the fans. We'll take a break. When we come back, Jason will take you through the final hour of the program. And you got Niners at 9, of course, with some injury updates. The NFL top and bottom 5 he'll have for you what to watch. And then Alan comes in for crosstalk and a little bit of celebrity birthdays. I will see you all tomorrow bright and early at 6 a.m. And until then, thank you all. Love you a long time. The show's about to get really good for an hour. Bye now.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead.
Get your Kings fix all season long right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. Golf's newest league, live on ESPN and ESPN Plus. It's 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, layoffs on the line. Golf, Tiger, Rory, and more of the best from the PGA Tour, split into 6 teams. Learn more at TGLGolf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could
Golf.com and tune into the inaugural season beginning January 7th. Keep up, it's golf.
It's Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room. And guess what? Primetime football is back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. As always, offering the best food, the best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. So check them out, Capital Casino, and always remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Finally, an easy way to find home improvement contractors. Just visit subcontractorsunited.com and simplify your search for home services professionals. From cabinets to windows, roofing to plumbing, Subcontractors United is an easy, simple way to find and hire a home improvement contractor. And you never have to give up personal information. So no harassing phone calls like you get from those other websites. Subcontractorsunited.com is sponsored by D&D Cabinets and Savage Design.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411th North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Yep. 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 All right, welcome into the final hour of the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. Christopher Lott is here as well as always. Dave had an obligation here in this last hour, but we are going to take you home in the last hour here, and then Alan Stiles will jump in here for crosstalk at the last portion of the show. I think there was a time, what did I have a few weeks ago, Chris, that you said it's too early? Oh, it was a stuffed pepper. I was eating a stuffed pepper during the show. Like, it's too early for stuffed pepper. Our schedule's weird. We have a weird schedule. But when's too early to eat like a treat?
Name the treat.
I think it was like an 8-layer bar, like that had toffee. I don't know what it is. I call it crap. It's just so good.
No, it's fine.
Okay, good. Because I just had one. We're celebrating Lori Chance, one of our great employees here at Bonneville for so many years. She's retiring soon. And she's a huge sports fan, too. She's just been wonderful.
Unfortunately, she's a Bears fan.
I know. Bears, Cubs. She's Bears, Cubs. I don't know if she likes the Bulls. I think she does. But she makes the treats. So she's got a bunch of just desserts down there. I think we're doing a thing down here, I think starting now, to honor her as she deserves that. But that's this time of year, too. Like, people just make food and bring it to you, or it's by, or in the off. Like, I'm sure people at your offices, if it's just in the, I don't know, break room or something, man, between cookies, someone's got their recipe. A friend of ours made caramel corn, makes caramel corn in our area and brought it over. And then my wife wanted to see, like, no, I wanted to see how it's made. So we went to their house last night. So now she's learned how she makes her batch. And it's like, man, you just have, I mean, it's great. It's a great time of year, but just sweets and treats everywhere.
You can usually find something from somebody.
Yeah. And then you bring it in. Oh, you know, this person made this lemon bar. There was 15 of them. I brought them in. Okay, I'll try that. I mean, my goodness. But anyway, congrats to Lori. I know the station is, and the company's celebrating her. So we just, shout out to Lori. She's been fantastic for all of us. She's got a few more days left before her retirement. Speaking of that,
that's a respectable job.
Yeah, before we get to Niners at 9, I just saw something on the TV during our last segment. I asked Chris, I said, It was something talking about Juan Soto getting his 15-year, $765 million deal. I said, Chris, what if you had to work here as you are now? And you've been here now how many? 15 years?
15 years.
So for the next 15 years, you work under the same requirements that you've got now, and we all love our jobs. But you have to work 15 more, but at that 15-year mark from now, you get $765 million. You're like, ooh. Made you think, huh?
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
To wait that long to get your $765 million?
Yeah.
You want that in advance.
Once you get past, what, 30 million?
I don't even know what the number, because I can't relate. Like when people, I still say this, and I'll continue to say it, like 95% of our listeners, maybe 99% of our listeners, I don't know what the number is, can't relate. Like I think that's
I'd say 99.9%.
Probably the biggest discrepancy of us and talking about these athletes is our income. And so when you're seeing, okay, that's the extreme, but $765 million, someone signs a $23 million deal, a $40 million, an $800, whatever it is. I don't know what that number would be to you and I, where we would go, what's logically, I go, yeah, what's the difference between making 2 million and 30? Like 2 million sounds absurd to me. But what is the number? I don't know. And there used to be a thing when I was just getting started. And I don't know if this would be a good question for you. Did you ever have a thing where when you were kind of beginning to your work life and it probably had already come and gone, where they said you want to make your age?
No.
Yeah, because that's come and gone. Like in California, that's just you don't have a chance. But that was a thing if you could make your age, like you're doing, if you were 30 and you made $30,000, so like
I'm making more than my age and I'm not making enough.
Right, exactly. The time has changed. It's just, I was wondering if you had ever hit that spot, but that was a thing. And I remember being maybe 23 going, could you imagine at 30 if I'm making 30,000? Like, because that was a big number for me at that time. And I'm like,
to be fair, around that time, I think that's when the U.S. bought the Louisiana territory for $30,000, right?
It might have been a little before that. But yeah, times have changed. Times have definitely changed. Yeah, I don't even know what the number. All of it just sounds exorbitant.
It might be double your age.
No, that's not even. I'm sure that's true. That's probably a good benchmark. So if you're just getting started and you're well, again, I think it depends on which state you're in, but we're going to assume California, and you're 22 and you get out of college. If you are, wherever you are, let's say you're 22, you're making 44. That's a pretty good start. But you also then go, man, how does anybody afford?
I think that's what I need to go on with my next negotiation.
Double my age.
Double my age.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good barometer. Someone asking, is Soto overrated? I just don't know how I don't think he's overrated for how he's played, but is he overpaid? I would say yes. But I think a lot of athletes are. Now, you can argue their net value, their worth, what they're bringing to the team, eyeballs, like Shohei Ohtani, I think is paid too much money. But is he worth that money to the organization? Yes. The answer is yes.
And at some point, he's going to get traded.
Ohtani or Soto or both?
Soto.
Yeah.
Ohtani, I think he has proven that he's happy just staying where he's at.
Yeah, and I'm going to assume, probably an unfair assumption, but I'm going to assume that Cohen's going to be the owner of the Mets that entire time. He may not be, but someone connected to his family, someone could have a different idea. Someone could say, Cohen could even go, I spent all this money and I have zero chance. Like, he's gone in 5 years.
There's going to be a point,
8 years.
like, because you're just not going to be good for 15 years.
There's no way. Himself, and the team.
Yeah. So at some point, there's going to be like, hey, we can get him out. We can get a ton of prospects for this team that's in the hunt. I think we can all agree on this.
And the other part, I want to look this up because I remember kind of defending this point, and I hope it's still a valid argument. Let me just start to do some quick. I'm just going to tell you a player like 30 homers, 105 RBIs, 28, 105, 40, 95, 31, 119, 23, 101, 1964, 22, and 93. These are some of the numbers, Chris. Those numbers that I just read. I know it was blended. You don't even know the players. Albert Pujols. When it was like his 10 years for the Angels, that was such a failure. He produced. They didn't win. But a lot of times people look back at that like he got old. He didn't live up to the billing. Well, I mean, in his Angels career, let me see what he did. He hit 222 home runs, 783 RBI in his time as an Angel. And so, I mean, it wasn't disastrous. Probably wasn't what they paid for, what they expected. Yeah. Anyway, long way to go. I'm not sure that the Soto deal will pay its overall dividends, but that's the price of negotiations right now. And he was able to get it. So that's what he's worth. All right. Last night there was Monday Night Football. Chris, you did tell me, you sent the show text, you saw some of the Simpsons. That was the one thing I didn't see last night. I watched the football game. I didn't watch any part of the Simpsons cast of it.
I watched about a quarter of it.
And you got frustrated. You love the Simpsons.
I love
Or you
Simpsons.
like the Simpsons.
I would say, I think everyone around my age that's a huge Simpson fan, I like season 2 through 10. That's like my wheelhouse.
Are they still on?
Yes.
It's got to be like 30?
35.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like people have passed away from old age.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, in the history of television, we're talking 60 Minutes probably, Saturday Night Live, The Simpsons,
Yeah, I think The Simpsons have the most episodes.
Maybe Price is Right, a few game shows, Jeopardy. I don't know how long Jeopardy's been on, but that's incredible that it's still going. And again, they're the same age still, right? Everybody's kind of the same.
I haven't watched.
I mean, Bart's not in college.
I don't think
right?
I've watched in 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're the same age.
That's crazy. Anyway, so the football version of it, good, bad, and different.
The thing I didn't like is how the announcers were trying to get all of the Simpsons. It's obviously they got a bunch of lines to say. It's oh, he needs to embiggen this, whatever. It's just okay, guys.
Who were the announcers? Do you know?
It was Mina Kimes. I don't know who the play-by-play person was.
Look this up. Drew Carter. Okay, Mina Kimes and Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah.
Okay, Drew Carter's now the. I think he's the voice.
I will
of the
say
Celtics.
of those, Mina Kimes sounded like she knew the Simpsons.
Uh-huh.
And it didn't feel as forced as the other two guys.
Right.
But then they're oh, Ralph Wiggum with a touchdown. That's what it's just oh, this is just weird.
Okay. So they weren't even using the real people. They would
they were using they were using the real people, but then sometimes they get switched out with the Simpsons character.
Okay. I remember when it was Jacksonville and somebody, maybe Atlanta. I don't know, when the Toy Story, that was enjoyable. I thought that was fun.
I thought that was fun just because
it was unique.
It seems like they were trying to play off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know
if this was as successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought when they did that with Toy Story, I think that was
there was a backstory to us, oh, Homer is having a bad dream from eating hot dogs. And that's why we're here today. And it's just okay. And they kept saying it over and over. It's just weird. From eating a hot dog?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. Okay. Maybe they tried too hard there, but they were trying to do something, obviously, to promote their brand and the branding of ABC, Disney, and all that. Whatever. It was on ESPN Plus or ESPN 2?
ESPN Plus.
ESPN Plus. All right. Let's see. Paul Riddle says SNL was 15 when The Simpsons started. Yeah, but still, The Simpsons are running. This is year 50 of Saturday Night Live. They got the big specials coming in February. I think it's a 3-hour special.
Oh.
Which, what's so weird now is
don't put Domingo on there.
Too new?
Too new.
Not a fan?
Fan of the first one.
Okay. Actually, we hadn't even talked about this last week's SNL. The couple of old school cameos that you probably didn't like. The church lady skit was opening it.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then David Spade came out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Because I know you don't like repeats, even though that's an old callback. Anyway. All right. Well, as far as the this was supposed to be Niners at 9. I'm channeling.
I think we covered them.
My inner Dave here. Yeah, the Niners have a spot here where they've only got 2 days left to go before they're healthy and are healthy enough to be ready to go for the Rams on Thursday. The good news is Dre Greenlaw could be ready to go. And then Garendo, I mean, it looks like it's a foot injury, but there's still hope that he might be able to play come Thursday. So, again, we talked about it earlier in the show, the importance of this specific game this week with the dynamics that are set right now. the Niners, it's a must win. It really is against the Rams. There's still an avenue if they lost, but they got to get another loss in the Rams. They got to pick up a win here, hope for some good news from Seattle and Arizona, and then it becomes a little more interesting if they check that box here as early as Thursday and watch the results of the weekend, because then they still might be able to get that team where they get in and have a chip in the chair. And again, I don't think they're better than the Lions or the Eagles or some of these other teams in the NFC, but you just got to get there and see what you can make happen. All right, we will take a quick break. When we come back, still what to watch. We got Crosstalk with Alan Stiles and celebrity birthdays. But next, we finished another week of action in the NFL. Can you believe it? Man, weeks just keep another week just gone by. Unbelievable. Can you believe it? I mean, first Thanksgiving, and then it's almost Christmas, and this season's almost over. When we come back, we will look at the NFL top 5 teams, the NFL bottom 5 teams after another week of action. That is next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Well, the holidays can be tough for some, but don't be afraid of your past. If something from your past is still haunting you, something is still coming back that you just can't get to where you want to, it's keeping you from your goals. Well, this holiday season, an expungement can help you out, and it can help you get a job. It can help you with your constitutional rights, get those back with that expungement. And right now, Gonzalez Law is offering discounts on expungements now through Christmas. Here's how you can find out more. Go to the website at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. Now, again, if you would like that removed from your record, that clean start, that's where the expungement can help. But maybe there's other things that are top of mind, some other things that you may need help with, some other things you may need representation. Well, that's where Jonathan Gonzalez can help in his law offices right in the heart of downtown. He's local. He's here. He's been successful, and he wants to help you as one of his clients. The point is someone that you can trust, someone that is willing to go to bat for you in whatever the situation you may have, whether it's an auto accident, this expungement I'm talking about, other past issues, wrongful termination cases, sexual harassment cases. If you need representation, the name you need to know is Jonathan Gonzalez and his law team. Go to saclegaldefense.com or call him at 916-304-9187. That's saclegaldefense.com, 916-304-9187.
Place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
And once again, Carmichael Dave off this final hour of today. I had this other obligation. He will be back with us for the rest of the week. Jason Ross, Chris Verlaud coming up here.
Attempting to dazzle Dave.
That's what we're all trying to do, is dazzle Dave. Coming up here in a little while, we will have Alan Stiles in studio, see what he's got coming up on his show for the next couple of hours. And then still no Kings. We're in the wait and see process for Sacramento. They will travel tomorrow to New Orleans, play the Pelicans Thursday, and then have an open Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That'll be the scene in New Orleans. But yeah, they will be off for a few days as well. So not a busy stretch of basketball at all for the Kings. In fact, they are in a stretch right now where they're barely playing any games. Let me see what the number was. This team has missed so many games here I think it's over the next 10 days. They play twice, something like that. So see what kind of advantage that will be for them, whether that's good or if that turns into rust, we will see. All right. So it is that time. We've finished another week of action after the Monday night game last night. Let's go ahead and give you our NFL top 5, bottom 5 after another week of action. And as always, we start with the worst teams, the 5 worst. This, according to me, you guys can weigh in. You can feel differently. The bottom, I think, is the easiest part, the last 2. The next couple, a little bit more challenging because there's some teams doing their part. Like the Jets, I don't have quite in. They've lost 4 in a row. They're 3-10. What a brutal year for them. I mean, I picked on this team a bit early on because so many people thought this could be not only a playoff team, but a Super Bowl team. This reminds me last year of the Bears when people are talking about the Bears and Justin Fields. They're like, Justin Fields could be the MVP. I thought, okay, I like Justin Fields, but you're making me, you guys are overdoing this. This is too much. This is a stretch. Well, that's what happened to me with the Jets. It's like, I think they could be pretty good. I think so. And I understood the logic, getting a healthy Aaron Rodgers and this team could sail. It's been the exact opposite. And here they are at 3-10, officially eliminated from the postseason. Losers of 4. But even with that, I don't have them in my bottom 5, though they are right there. The 28th team, or better known as the 5th worst team, according to me, I have the New England Patriots. They've lost 3 in a row again. They're 3-10. This isn't surprising. I mean, this is the kind of year I thought they would have. Gerard Mayo's taken over for Bill Belichick. I think it was probably time to make that change in New England, and they're going to have to give him a little bit more time. I hope they see some signs in Drake May as the quarterback of the future, or you're doing it all over again. Like, look, they thought Mac Jones was the quarterback of the future. He was not. So you're either looking for your guy or you've got him, and most teams are looking for their next franchise QB. But I have the Patriots 5th worst at 3-10. All right, 4th worst. It seems like time after time they play a bit better. They nearly had a big upset this last week, but, they've been outscored by 155 points. They've lost 3 games in a row. They've changed quarterbacks a couple different times this year. Bryce Young's back to playing and is doing some better things, but the Panthers are 3-10. It's going to be another long year for them. I have them as the 4th worst team going into this week. So it's the Patriots is the 5th worst. The Panthers is the 4th worst. Coming in at number 30, 3rd worst team in the NFL to me, the Tennessee Titans. Also 3-10. They've been outscored by a bunch, 115 points this year. They had their chances to beat Jacksonville, who somehow, some way worked themselves out of the bottom 5, much like the Jets. But the Titans at 3-10, losers of their last 2. They come in as the 3rd worst. Now we go to Team 31, 2nd worst team. You're not the worst, but the 2nd worst. They've lost 9 straight games. You were 2-2 Raider fans. You beat the Ravens, maybe the mysterious win or loss, however you want to put it, of the year. But yeah, the Las Vegas Raiders, 2-11. What a brutal year. Disappointment all around. And they've been outscored by 125 points on the year. I've got them as the 2nd worst team, and the team I've had the worst team for a while. They're the only team, the only one in the NFC that's been mathematically eliminated. And this last week, the way they lost, they're fighting, they're trying to battle, they're trying to win, trying to come back, force a tie at the end of regulation when they got in field goal range, and they can't block up front. Saints, big old defensive lineman, jumps the line of scrimmage, can't really even do an effective Marvin Bagley second jump, but got his hands up, blocks the field goal by Graham Gano, and the Giants lose for the 8th consecutive time. And for I don't know how many consecutive weeks, I have them as the bottom team in our bottom 5. So again, Patriots, Panthers, Titans, Raiders, and Giants as the worst team in the NFL. Now that's a race for the top pick in the NFL, and right now that's a race between the Raiders and the Giants. All right, now let's flip it to the better side of the conversation, the best teams in the NFL, the top 5, according to me. And at number 5, 2nd straight week I've had them in the top 5. They won again this last week. They got a little revenge against one of the few teams that has beaten them. Their record is 10-3. And since putting Russell Wilson there in the starting lineup, the Pittsburgh Steelers have just been really good. Good defense. We know they've got that. Boswell's been amazing for them as their field goal kicker, getting a ton of points each week. And then the offense continues to get better. They're outscoring teams by 85 points this year, a 10-3 impressive record. Mike Tomlin does it again. I've got the Steelers as the 5th best team in the NFL. All right, number 4. This is a team that I know plenty of you are doubting, and it's probably fair to do so based on expectations and maybe based on the week-to-week performance, but I can't ignore the amount of wins and how much they keep winning. And they've won 6 in a row from the NFC North at 11-2, the Minnesota Vikings. This has been a great story. Sam Darnold, 5 touchdowns this last week, over 300 and something yards passing. They're doing something right. I don't know, and I don't believe that they're going to go all the way to the Super Bowl. That's not my point here, but I'm rewarding for what they've done, how consistently they keep winning. 11-2. It may need explanation, but they don't have to explain themselves. Good for the Vikings. I've got them at 4. At number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Philly has outscored teams by 108 points this year. They've won 9 in a row. Saquon really should be in the MVP conversation. I know it's most likely going to go to a quarterback, and at this point, Josh Allen probably seems to be the favorite. Lamar Jackson's had a great year, but I look at Lamar Jackson, they now have 5 losses. At the end of last year, that's kind of what did Brock Purdy in and McCaffrey. The Bills, they have 3 losses. Well, the Eagles have 2. And they're 11-2, and Saquon Barkley is not a quarterback, but his impact on that team, how he's played, what he's done, has the single greatest highlight to me of the year. It's either the Hail Mary or his jump, split legs back to the defense over a defender was one of the greatest highlights I've ever seen. Ever. So give me the Eagles as the 3rd best team right now in the National Football League. At number 2, they keep doing it. They keep squeaking by. They had the doink for the division. They are the defending Super Bowl champions twice over. And they've only won by 56 points, but they've won 12 times. They've lost once. In the end, if this whole season goes the rest of the way and the Chiefs keep doing this and win the Super Bowl and barely win the Super Bowl or doink one in or get a safety or some sort of weird oddity, it doesn't matter. It just, do you win or you lose? That's the ultimate metric on how you're being measured. And with 12 wins and 1 loss, the Kansas City Chiefs are my number 2 team. Number 1. No surprise here. I've had them number 1 for a while. They seem to be more complete, at least offensively and defensively, than the Chiefs. They've outscored their opponents by 183 points. The Detroit Lions, perfect on the road, 6-1 at home, 6-0 on the road, 12-1 overall. They've earned it. They've been impressive. They are my number 1 team from the top 5. So top 5, 5-1, Steelers 5th, Vikings 4th, Eagles 3rd, Chiefs 2nd, and the Lions, the Detroit Lions, number 1. So there you go. There's my NFL top 5, NFL bottom 5 after another week. Sorry, Raiders, got you at second to last. Niners, there was a time where I had you in the top 5, but it's been a long time. You're in that middle ground of the rest of the teams.
I think that's back when the Kings won back-to-back games before
they just did. Yeah, it was over a month ago. They're still talking about it for decades. They'll be talking about it. All right, break time for us. When we come back, what should you be watching tonight? What should you be checking out sports-wise? What to watch, and a few more news and notes. That's coming your way next on Sacktown Sports.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Shriners Children's Northern California, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the propane tank on your grill first before hosting a tailgate.
Let's fire up. Here, let me try. Seriously? You didn't check the propane? Who wants chips?
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds.
Salt and vinegar?
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get huge year-end savings on the all-new 2025 Silverado now at Maida Chevy.
With $8,000 off MSRP after rebates on select new 2025 half-ton Silverado LT and RST.
And Maida Chevy has one of the largest selections of new 2025 Silverados in the Sacramento area.
$8,000 off new 2025 Silverado at Maida Chevy. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, lease, and some of the offers.
Welcome back to another exciting game day. Grab your rally towels, throw on your jerseys, cheer, shout, and save on your gas. That's right, sports fans win big on home game days. Score instant savings of 25 cents per gallon on Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline with the Fuel Rewards program. And that's a victory for you and your tailgate team. Download the app, join the Fuel Rewards program today, and game on. Restrictions apply. Limited time. At participating Shell stations. For more details, visit fuelrewards.com.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say.
He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
All right. Jason Ross, Chris Roulade here. Chris as the, I'm talking to Chris Roulade, but the champ, former, multiple, worldwide, national, international fantasy football champion. How many belts?
2.
2? I thought you had 3.
No.
Oh, only 2? Is
Kept
that
carrying over?
Is that series ever going to get revived?
I don't know. We don't have a lot of video production people at the moment.
Yeah, but we get some people that could probably do some. I bet Chris Watkins could do some pretty good work with that.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Maybe we just reach out to Matt George to see if he wants to do it again.
I kind of like when Matt does it. Are you in more than one of the fantasy? Like you got in the work one that Nate set up.
And have you been paying attention to that one?
Yeah, but are you in any other one besides that?
I'm actually in 2 work ones.
There's another one here?
Yeah.
Who's the other one with?
It's like with the salespeople. And
oh, you got in that one?
Yeah. Well, someone
dropped out, probably
left, and then I took over.
Okay, so I'm going to save the one that we first talked about for last or next. How are you doing in the work one? The other work one?
I just made it into the playoffs.
Oh,
and that was with 3 players out.
So you're not adjusting your team?
No. Like I had like 6 players on buys.
Oh, this was a brutal week.
Yeah.
This was an absolutely brutal week.
But I also had Josh Allen and Jamar Chase.
Oh, okay. You just won with those 2 guys. Yeah. So I don't know if it's a 4, 8. I don't know how many made the playoffs.
I'm 5th, so I'm guessing 6.
Okay, 6. Maybe top 2 have a bye. Like every league is done a little bit differently. So you have advanced in that one. And your other one, probably the one you played the longest.
I'm in the consolation playoff. I had the worst season I have ever had.
Okay.
So here's what I do like about that, though, because you know me, I'm a trash talker.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually hate it more when I'm not good and I'm still talking trash. The very few times that I win.
Yeah.
They just do not like that.
So in the one that was set up here for people that people would know, the listeners would know, was set up by Nate, right? He set this fantasy league up. We have 12 participants, and your team, I won't read the team's name.
I think I was shown it the other night.
You didn't even know that was your team's name?
No, I knew it was, but I was shown where I am in the.
Yeah, you are. Well, you're last, and you knew that, but like, you were 1-13, and I don't know who you defeated, but I remember like there was a pretty good race to get in. We only have 4 playoff teams, and I'm like, I haven't even played Chris yet, and I finally got you like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I'm like, God, because we have so many teams, and I was able to beat you. But I'm working my way from the bottom. So Chris, you're 12th. Alan Stiles finished 11th. Nate finished 10th. Frankie and Jose, our boss, tied for 8th. There's Brendan in 7th. And then there was a 3-way tie for the 4th spot, which was from Emil and Simone and then me. But I got in. I had the most points of the group. We all had the same record. And I was very nervous because last week, our final week going in, I'm like, seriously, I have to play the best team, which is Chris Watkins' team, to get in just to survive. And I found a way to beat him. I was lucky because I think his quarterback normally was Lamar. So he was out, but I had a few guys that I had to pick up to play. So I've advanced, and we've got our final 4. There's only 4 that are allowed in this or survived in this. And our playoff bracket, by advancing, I'm the 4 seed. I have to face now the new number 1, Chris. I'm playing Kyle Draper. And our 2-3 matchup is Chris Watkins versus Kyle Ledbetter. So look at that. We'll see if I can survive that one as the worst record team left. I'm 8-6. Everyone's 11-3 or 10-4. So we'll see if I can survive that one. I have one league that I'm in last. And then the other 2, one I should be in the playoffs. The other one, the one I've been in the longest, the one I want to say I care about the most, we do it differently, and that way I like that league the most because we're in overall points. I'm not a fan of fantasy playoffs head to head. I'm just not. I know that's the way most leagues work. I think it's such a weird thing in fantasy football to have head-to-head be the difference, because my defense, I literally have a defense, but I'm not playing you. I can do nothing about your team, nothing about it. And so I know that's the way that works. I just think I like overall points. So and I know a lot of you out there have been, I have the most points scored in the league and I'm finishing in 9th. Yeah. So I think that's why these overall points, total points, I like that better.
I like
ours does it both, but I like that better.
Yeah, I think I like it if it's like Fun Bucks way of half goes to the highest points and half goes.
That's what ours is. Yeah, we still have a head-to-head. Yeah. We have a Super Bowl, but at the end, it's like, I didn't even make the playoffs, but I'm the number 1 team with the most points. Well, I feel like that person should get rewarded. So I like that. That's my preference, but everybody's got a different league.
But then, so are you against going head-to-head at all?
No, that one does both. So we have our head-to-head record, and then at the end, I think it's like most things. There's a playoff, and there's a playoff pool of some of the winnings, but the bigger pool is the overall total points, and I think that to me is kind of why that 6th round pick helped me win the whole thing. Yeah, I like that. I like that the best. All right, what to watch tonight? We don't have as much action, but we've got day 1 of the NBA Cup quarterfinals. Just half of the games going on tonight. And remember, these games, this specific round, still counts as win-loss record in the NBA. So in the East, you've got Orlando at Milwaukee. Milwaukee had the terrible start. They've worked their way to be the 1 seed in the Eastern portion of the Cup. And Orlando's the 4 seed. Orlando's now playing without Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero. They've been a nice story. And then in the West, you've got OKC taking on Dallas. And I'm just trying to think of this from a Kings perspective. What would you rather have? Probably, to me, OKC is starting to get out there and probably, look, they were the 1 seed last year. I think a lot of people thought they could win the West again as far as in the regular season and maybe even represent the West in the finals. I'm okay with them getting out there and establishing a number that maybe no one else can catch, as long as you avoid them in the postseason if you're the Kings and you get there. So they're 18-5. I'd probably, as a Kings fan, rather have OKC win tonight to get to 19-5 and give Dallas another loss, drop them to 16-9, just pull them a tad bit closer. But that's it. Those are the only 2 games in the NBA tonight. The other 2 games from the Cup will take place tomorrow. And that'll be one East, one West as well. That'll be Hawks and Knicks, and Warriors and Rockets, and kind of the same theme. Probably root for the Rockets there to give the Warriors what would be their 10th loss. And they've kind of been up and down too, right? That's kind of been the theme of several teams in the West. You just kind of stick with it and see what kind of production you can have. And in the end, this Cup, it's year 2. We'll see what it's like for these teams in these cities and the overall fan base and how much you watch. I still think it's really weird that by far the 2 best teams in the NBA are the Celtics and the Cavs, and neither one made the Cup at all. I mean, again, that may be partly a charm to it, but I don't know that it overall is going to do enough for the league. Last year there was a lot of intrigue. We'll see how different it is this year, but the league is trying something, and I can tell you, if it's not working, they'll stop it. They will, but I don't think if this year doesn't go as well as last year, I don't think it's time to stop it just yet, but they'll look to tweak it if they can. All right, when we come back, Alan Stiles will be in studio. We'll see what's coming up on his show, and we'll hit him up and Chris with celebrity birthdays. That is next.
Christmas music is everywhere. The smell of gingerbread is in the air. And wait, what's that sound? It's Santa. He's headed back to Sacramento for the 41st Annual Santa Parade, December 14th in downtown Sacramento. Bring your entire family to the parade route around the Capitol for over 100 floats, including marching bands, pageant princesses, clowns, horses, and of course, Santa himself.
The 41st Annual Santa Parade, Saturday, December 14th with Shriners Children's Northern California, Gurnick Academy, and the California Army National Guard. The fun begins at 10 a.m. Get more info at sacktownsports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave from my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. I have a question for you. Have you recently had a tech diagnose your HVAC system and you were surprised at the cost of the repair? We've been there. Or did something seem off about their quote? How are we supposed to know how much this stuff costs? Well, what if there was a place out there that had been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981 that had an A+ with the Better Business Bureau that would come out to your house for free and beat that quote? I say beat that quote because they will. I'm that confident. I don't just endorse them. Don't listen to the droney guy who gets paid to say this. I've used them. My mother-in-law's used them. My father and my mom just got their HVAC system replaced by American Energy Heating and Air. They are fantastic. 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Hey, American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Don't you just love this time of year and the holidays when families get together to make memories? Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. From the time I was a youngster, The family table was always filled with a gathering of grandparents, aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters. Those are memories that will live with me forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now gives you the opportunity to find the perfect holiday gift that will last a lifetime. You'll find unique gifts like gleaming accessories for every room, now 20% off. During Naturewood's Holiday Home Sale, you'll find savings all around the store for every room in your home. Find your perfect bit of Christmas for your home at Naturewood Home Furnishings Holiday Home Sale going on right now. The memories you make with your family will be with you forever. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Yeah, woo! There he is, America's MC. Is that what they call you? That's what I'm calling you.
Yeah.
The hit doctor, America's MC, the host with the most.
That's right.
Alan Stiles.
I'm here.
What's up, Alan?
Not too much. You know, I think I told you, I don't know if I told you we're in the middle of a move. So tomorrow's the big day.
Wait, what? No, I
just down the street.
Oh, okay.
We're just getting into a house now. And, you know,
like how far down the street?
You could walk 1.3 miles, maybe.
Okay, but that's okay. So literally,
walk.
we have a neighbor in our area that quick story is has moved around our little area quite a bit, and this last one he literally went like one house over, one house. He goes, it was the worst move ever. I go, how can that be? He goes, because literally there's two. Like he just started carrying stuff.
Yeah,
and because they did need movers for some bigger things, but the amount of step to step to step because it was that close. I go, oh, okay.
Yeah. I did a trip before
movers,
this morning.
right?
Yeah, the movers come tomorrow, but we did a trip this morning where we moved the drawers and everything like
stuff
that.
In some cars.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're getting there, and you know, but my whole point is, you know, Dave isn't here to make fun of me. I've kind of been off my workout grind because of these. There's not a lot of daylight, so today, obviously, do a little bit of moving. So I'm all right. It's a little bit. My watch. I'm about halfway to my goal of workout minutes. Go downstairs. Lori, who's been here for 17 and a half years, her retirement party's going on. There's breakfast burritos and the whole thing. And of course,
you missed the treats. I'm telling you,
I missed the treats.
Cooks, they're still there. So
yeah, and then I'm going to go down. So, you know, I'm not moving enough. Apparently, I'm not moving enough.
She did tell me, she goes, tell everybody upstairs we have treats down here. So, I mean,
okay,
of course, Lori's looking out for us on her day.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. She made stuff for her retirement.
Yes.
Crazy.
For all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Breakfast burritos good?
Good.
Yeah.
I had one, and that's the thing. I can't stop, you know? I see chorizo, I see bacon. They're small, don't get me wrong, but I got to get both.
Yeah.
I got to get both. I brought Kyle one.
Oh, good. He won't stop at one.
He will not. He shouldn't.
Yeah.
He shouldn't.
If they're there, go for them.
That's right.
What's coming up today on the show?
If you are a fan of the trade generator,
oh no,
today is the show for you.
You're just throwing stuff out there today.
Not me. No, there are whispers and conversations and rumblings. Can we get a list of all of the different terms that get used? Conversations, rumblings, whispers, rumors, momentum. There is
trade wins.
Yeah, there is a belief.
Yeah.
So we're using
talks.
Yeah. We're using all of those terms today with what Michael Scotto had to say a couple days ago, and the Shams article that just came out, which mentions everyone and everything. Ultimately, the question is, the Kings enter this conundrum where I'm not going to name players during the crosstalk. We will in the show, where it's, where do you make a decision? If the Kings get hot right now, what do you do with that? If certain players start balling out right now, what do you do with that? Their value is going to go up. What would you do, Sacramento?
Yeah, you know what's interesting? I think about this. David and I were talking earlier about, like, right now, I about as 100% close as you can be to trust the starting five. Like, I think that's That's rock solid, right?
Yeah.
Where before the belief was like, well, if they got a true 4 or a put that person in, maybe you shift people around. But I think this 5 is really good.
Yeah.
I don't have trust in the bench.
No.
And so it feels like that's where more help is needed, though that's not going to be a sizzle for a lot of people.
No.
But it could be impactful.
It could. And then the question becomes, what are you willing to give up for a bench player, right? I mean, these price tags, the Dorian Finney-Smith, whoever, you're giving up a first rounder for a bench player. I don't know. I'm not saying I would or I wouldn't, but you're probably going to have to.
Right.
It's the same thing where last season it was, oh, these price tags are ridiculous. Read that Shams article and let me know if it sounds like the price tags are going to be any lesser than they were last season.
Right.
It's the same teams, and we're going to go over the list of teams that are kind of in that position to where you're similar to the Kings, even if it's not the Kings. What do you want to do here?
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And then I guess my other part of that, Alan, would be, let's say they get a player that a lot of people like to go to their bench. How are they going to be? Like Mike Brown shuffles that around a lot. Like Jay Crowder is the recent example. Went from starting to he's not playing. And how long will that last? Probably not long. I think he'll be playing again soon. And then someone else like Colby Jones all of a sudden won't play. Or, hey, Isaac Jones is doing some good things. Why hasn't he played in 3 games? I think that's a Mike Brown thing that I personally don't understand.
Well, and then it becomes if these agents are also involved. So if you're trading for somebody, not that these guys have trade clauses, but if you're trading for somebody and this person knows, I think Kyle Kuzma would get plenty of playing time, but a Kyle Kuzma where, hey, you might come off the bench at this point and he doesn't want to do that, then you've paid a first round pick or whatever for a disgruntled player based on how Mike kind of does his business. So yeah, I think to that point, and we were reading off a lot yesterday, just as far as if you look, these guys get into the league so early. Do you realize that Malik and De'Aaron and Kevin Huerter, they're all 26. And then obviously Keegan's 24. I'm never that guy, but you could be the guy to say, maybe you don't have to do it this year. I'm not normally that guy, as long as my caveat was if you feel like De'Aaron's happy. That's the kicker.
Yeah. And I think he is, but I wouldn't say he's a hard read, but I think he is. But I can't say that with full conviction.
Me neither. And again, De'Aaron is really close as far as you have to be willing to make tough decisions, right? You have a friend that always seems to get you in trouble or whatever. Maybe you can't be friends with that guy anymore once you turn 30. As far as De'Aaron is concerned, he wants the team to be better. He wants the team to compete. De'Aaron's also really close with Keegan Murray.
Yeah.
And some of the guys, they have relationships. So I don't, if you gave De'Aaron true serum to say, hey, who would you be okay with? Who knows what he would say, but tough decisions are going to be made. You can't have it all.
And then I also wonder the front office, I don't know if like some just totally value the draft. Like we will not give up a first round pick. And, and if that's your stance, that's okay. But if you want some of these guys, sometimes you got to pony up.
Yep.
Yeah.
There it is.
All right. Well, so that's all coming up today. We look forward to that. Let's go ahead and do some celebrity birthdays. See how we do here, as birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than crumble cookies. All right. We're going to start with movies. Chris's wheelhouse, but maybe Alan does well here.
Did we do... It was mostly movies yesterday, too. What's going on with these birthdays?
He always does a movie. It was just quicker.
It was quicker.
We didn't have a long celebrity birthday.
Yeah. Today we're better. Today we're better. But we got a sequel theme to our movies today. On this date, December 10th, in what year did Sister Act 2, Back in the Habit?
Oh.
I'm sure you guys both watched that, sang a few of the songs.
Of course. I mean, it's definitely mid to late 90s. I feel like, was number 1 97? 99 feels too late. 98 feels too late. I'm going to go 97.
I'm going to go with 1995.
I think you're making me look this up again. Okay. 1993.
Whoa.
Yeah.
When was number 1 out?
91?
It must have been.
Huh.
All right. On the sequel train again. On this date in what year? Ocean's 12.
Ooh. You go first for a lot.
Like
Ocean's 12
I get confused
was 2004.
05.
We have a correct answer. It's 2004. Okay. All right, here we go. Birthdays.
All right.
Happy birthday to Quarterback Joe Burrow.
Is he 30? No, he can't be.
No.
He's 28 though.
Ooh, I was going to say 28.
No, 28. Okay.
I'll say 29 then.
We have a correct answer, and it goes to Alan Stiles, 28. He is not 30. He is 28.
There you go.
Happy birthday to Raven Simone.
Oh, Raven, we're in the same range. I'm going to say Raven is 37.
37.
36.
Alan is closer, 39. That surprised me a little bit. Happy birthday. I was hoping Dave was here for this because you two on the head-to-head for this, but Chris will participate. Happy birthday to Bobby Flay.
Oh,
your guy.
My guy. I froze when I saw him.
Froze with Flay?
Froze with Flay in Las Vegas. That's what happened.
Bobby
Flay, you don't
at
say.
Mandalay Bay.
At Mandalay Bay with Calabrian Chile. Okay, I got to say. Bobby Flay, no clue, man. I should know this. There's no way he's 60. He's just not going to turn 60, you know. He is 59, though.
He is 59 in cooking years.
He's 60 on the nose.
He's 60 on the nose. We have a correct answer. He's 60 on the
Wow.
nose. Chris got him. Happy birthday. We haven't heard this name in a long time. Maybe he fell from grace, or Taco Fall from grace. Taco Fall.
Wow, we didn't even hear about him last year?
Is he still on the Magic? There's no way. Oh, wait. I think I just saw him. He's overseas now.
Is he?
Yeah. I saw him doing his thing. Taco Fall. I'm going to say Taco Fall is 26.
25.
Alan's closer, 29. Happy birthday to former Bears running back Matt Forte.
I got a good 2 years.
Yeah.
He was on the league.
He was?
Yeah.
I feel like he was one of the poster children during that time of you can't pay running backs because you get 2 years and they're done. Shout out Matt Forte. I would say he's probably younger than you think because of that. He's my age. He's 34.
32.
Alan's closer, 39.
Wow.
Everybody's turning 39.
Happy birthday to Nasty Nestor Cortez. The Yankees.
Oh, give me a break. He could be 42 or 22. I'm going to say Nestor Cortez, shout out Frankie Cardicelli, I think he is older. I think he's 35.
42.
42. He is 30. Alan had a day. You had quite a day.
There you go.
All right, that's it for us. Dave will be back with us again tomorrow. Our thanks to Sean Salisbury. For Christopher Lott, I'm Jason Ross. Alan Stiles coming your way next.
The only place you'll find De'Aaron Fox is Sacktown Sports.